speaker's not working properly. Okay. We're going to do some sound checks, just so we know. You have to understand what's going on here, and TikTok will not work on my phone. All righty, I'm gonna make a choice here. So volume is the problem. Speakers is this one. Hopefully it's recording now. Stop and try again. It's super hot here already. The humidity has built this way for a few days, to the point my real old phones just don't work. And with that, I'm going to have to forfeit or figure out, oh, I might have just figured out another way. There's no way I can tell if I'm live on YouTube. So, yep, there. Okay, I'm live on YouTube. This one says resume. Already. It's built this way. Ooh, this is a medicine woman solution. This is where your soul has a solution. And I hope that's not part of the beginning where we always have to have a problem to find the solution, because that's not exactly what we do. It's something that I continuously talk about, because people need to be aware that most of the time people have a problem and they don't even know that they can change the way they have their life. They can change it. And you know, so what does all that mean? Well, it's very interesting. Is that when I teach you how to see when you're out of sync, but I also do teach people how to stay in sync. And this is kind of like what we're going to be talking about today. So if you happen to, let's see. If you happen to have an issue with procrastination, tiredness, depression, can't get motivated, he's trying to get attention to his girlfriend there. She's not paying attention to him. Kind of funny. Charlie, you being nice to your girlfriend? We we can do a lot of things for ourselves. I've done a lot of different types of healings. I've done a lot different where you actively have to physically move, or you have to use your hands, or you use your innate. But how about if you just basically learn how to breathe, or just sit and learn something that I kind of experienced, this accumulation of experiences for the last couple of weeks. But it was every time I go into a situation, I say, show me, spirit, show me where and how things are different. Now, are you guys having a problem hearing me over that fan? Hopefully everything will be good. Just checking out TikTok. They seem to work all of a sudden, but that doesn't always mean it does. Now it's saying that I'm connected to my show, but yet at the same time, I'm not seeing that. I can't seem to get I know there's Crystal Ellen. Hi, there we go. We got April, we got Morgan, we've got Healing Hearts. Wonderful. Crystal. Okay, excellent. We got somebody that can hear us over here. That is excellent. And TikTok, it's going, I have no idea if it'll work. It keeps stopping and restarting. And we will just do our best until Spirit has provided new phones that necessarily have to be new, but at least not an S9, something newer than that. Healing. So I had this incredible, look, it's 92. It's got my attention. So even though the soul has a solution, okay, medicine woman solution, that's SOULTION, and the soul has a solution. Oh, thank you for the 4s. Thank you. Yeah, give me some 4s. That's a lot of love. I I live and walk and talk it, breathe it and dream it about joy, peace, happiness, the piece of cup, a cup of peace, if you haven't heard me talking about it. Oh, that's what fell. Heard something fall earlier. And I didn't know what that was. Now I do. Okay, not sure exactly what caused that to fall. And there's always the fine tuning. Doesn't mean that there's got to be perfect. It's just fine tuning. It's what color will I wear today? How will that color affect me? And it's about frequency, about vibrations. And what is, what is my hair? My hair is actually long, but I beefed it up and twisted it, and for some reason it looks good. And by no means am I a hairstylist or, oh, thank you for the love, a clothing guru or nothing. Okay, it is living in harmony with your soul and living with your higher self, living with your heart, because the heart is a very important organ. And you know what a heartbreak is, you know what all of that is. And you take offense with your heart. Most people think you just take offense with your brain, or you take offense with your, but how does one take offense? Okay, so my job as Dr. Brenda Power, and that means I studied and wrote a dissertation, and I really live it, breathe it, walk and talk and dream metaphysics. And I can see things and I can explain things by channeling as my whole self, my higher self, the seventh plane. And remember to hit the love button if you can. That would be wonderful. Ooh. So I'm always operating with that cup of peace. And I had to heal my pain so I could have that cup of peace. What does this mean? Well, I first have to use your gift that everyone has, the gift of awareness, to understand when you are no longer in peace or harmony. We don't have to accept that you have you're stressed 24/7, that you are in dis-ease, meaning you're just no longer at ease. Stress became a very common factor, and people learned how to cope, handle, and deal and work around it. And I will tell you, that is not how we need to live. In the 5D world, which is the frequencies of where we are, okay, this is a different levels of consciousness. Imagine that before in 3D, we had learned all about grade school, junior high, and then high school up to graduate school. So in 5D, we're taking and carrying our higher frequencies. Somebody asked me recently, well, I don't understand this thing. And it made perfect sense, because I'm always asking you to ask questions. When you ask questions, your soul is asking you to be existential, learning to be more than just existing. But why do you exist? How do you exist? And so what does this mean? What does this mean? Oh, thank you for sharing. What does this mean? Okay, so I'm not sure if I can pull it up, but I'm going to give it a good go. But the question referred to a meme. Let's see if I can find it. I think I did. It says shifting experiences. Okay, shifting experiences. So when you shift experiences, this is about 3D to 5D. So I understand, I can feel it. I can feel how my body shifts. I can tell, I fine-tuned. I started off of feeling on the outside. I feel when people are mad, but I realized it was going through my filters more than it was going through my inner higher sensory system. I had to learn what all these meant. So the statement is, when you raise your vibration, you will feel a sudden shift. You will no longer resonate with the people who are living on a lower frequency than you. So one thing is I asked her, I said, what word's in there that's throwing everything off? And the word frequency. What is this higher frequency? What is this lower frequency? And it's a very great question, because inside we have what's called I call it a vibrational rate. Everybody says raise your vibrations. That usually means peace, love, joy, and harmony. But how do you measure them? How does it work? And when I'm looking at this frequency, you want to, it's usually based on all of your emotions, your stress state. And that means if you use guilt and shame or feel guilt and shame, then your hertz, H-E-R-T-Z, will end up H-U-R-T-I-N-G. So the hertz will begin hurting, okay? But it's based on emotional frequency. And the emotional frequency can be felt from the heart. And the brain just takes note. Brain don't do that logical stuff. So the brain cells. So and so what I watched was this video, which was really good. And I can't remember who did it, but he puts on this little heart suit and he goes, bum, 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 bum. And he looks over and a brain cell comes, hey, heart. Bum, 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 bum. What? We need to ask you a question. What do you need me for? I'm busy. I've got to pump out billions of heartbeats, and I'm just a pump. I'm nothing more than a pump. Pump, 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 pump. But brain, we need brain says, but we need you, heart, because you feel things. You're emotional. What? I'm emotional. I am not emotional. All right. What's your question? Would you like steak or chicken? Oh, steak, please. Never quite realized until you have that story, until you realize that the heart is an emotional heart. Now, inside the heart is a brain. And inside our brain is a brain. It's just, it don't feel. But if you choose to use the left half of the brain, you will get into more of a stress state. And if you energetically only use the right half, then you won't understand how to figure out limitations. You may be more fearless. Those two halves of the brain need to learn to communicate. When we're stressed, it leaves the right brain. And the more stressed you are, the more left brain you'll be. But you'll also leave out the heart in the idea of what love is, because the heart doesn't have to be emotional crazy. Heart-brain coherence is you first want to start healing out all of the experiences that causes your heart what? To feel less than love. Now that's the hertz. That's the frequencies. Like those two are, I don't know what they're doing. So it's frequency. So in me, if I'm going to carry the high vibration, I don't want it just to be temporary. So there was Kay Thompson that developed, she's the only one I know that developed right now, so I'm sure there's others. But she created this thing called Voice Bio that can measure the frequencies of your voice. So she'll ask you, as she uses her machine, tell me something stressful. So you start telling her, well, I just had a bad day. I couldn't get anything working. Okay. And then she'll say, all right, now I want you to think about ho-hum, just being bored, regular, normal day. So you'll tell it. And then you'll say, okay, tell me about something exciting about the future. Oh, okay. And then you do. And each one of those is like a key, musical key. Orchestra. You got your C's and your B's, which is just represents the physicals, and a little bit of the D's. Then you got the D's, E's, and F's. Then you got that's more emotional, and then you got the A's and the G's that are more mental. We forget that we're mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical being. We forget those. We think they're separate, but they work together. So I told her all these different examples of understanding frequencies. And the main thing for the physical is that if it doesn't feel right, now we can mask. Okay. A depressed person can have lower frequencies, but the mask that you feel may not even feel that frequency. So you can raise your vibration in a mask or a projection or a broadcast. But the inside is what's very important, because it determines whether you're going to have a flow. Okay. It determines if you're going to have flow. Now, before I go any further, I'm still trying to make sure that this is all going to work properly. Yeah, I'm just going to keep it as that. Let's just say that that works. I have a feeling that as I'm recording, somehow something's telling me to pay attention. What am I looking at? No, it should be working. Okay. So that frequency was, I'm tuning in to make sure it worked based on something I saw earlier. And it didn't feel like a resolve. We didn't feel like a resolve. And when it didn't feel like a resolve, then we can become stressed. So this lower vibration of to get your attention in an alarming way will push, push, push. And if you don't have a resolve, then that Akashic record is open. So it becomes an unresolved continued story. Okay. I don't think I can get the birds in, but try. So when you have that, my brain alerted me that something didn't feel right. So I'm hoping it works. It looks like it is. So we will continue. So understanding about frequencies. When somebody comes at you with an emotion, that is a frequency. Below 500 hertz, 500 is love. Below that, you can feel it. You can feel when somebody's angry with you. You can feel that awkwardness. Then when somebody walks in the room, you're like, oh, I don't want to talk to them. Or you feel like the insecurities that, oh, I have to get in front of a camera. I can't do it. You can feel those limitations. All right. So you can measure it with your voice. You can measure it by emotions. And if your frequencies are not balancing, and you've trained the brain, you've trained the heart, that it always has to be in a lower form, then there's going to be a little bit of a problem. Because then the body, that's like a beautiful tree in the woods, everything is nurturing it. The environment is nurturing it. All of it's nurturing it. And when it doesn't, the tree then falls over and has to go and become a log, has to go into decomposition mode. It has to. Well, what does all this determine? Well, again, if your frequencies are, you're stuck on, let's see, you physically can't take care of yourself, or you physically can't get a job, or you're physically, no matter what you're doing, okay, and you feel like the world's hitting you and you're like, what the hell? Okay, the frequency is going to be low. That means the C and the B, the two C's and the B, a little bit of the D, well, all of a sudden, it's going to, instead of becoming a nice a bell curve, okay, it's the way the 12 notes are, which represent to the 12 meridians. Oh, look, he's talking to the spookies. He always does this when spirit people are in the room, non-fleshies. But if you drop or you're too high, you will start showing certain forms of expression, but it may not move. Like a musical note will go up and down. This will be that you're out of tune. Your keyboard's out of tune. That means you have to use a spiritual lesson. So when you look at the musical notes, and I'm talking about C, C sharp, E, F, B, D, D sharp, G, A, all of those, okay? And each one of them represents, whether it's a mental or emotional or physical, together they create that spiritual experience. Now, if your life kind of sucks, but you're happy anyway, then you have lessons, life lessons. There goes my phone. So that's what I'm here for. I'm supposed to help you, teach you, and I'll help you understand to these things. So when you think of frequencies, it is like here, it tells you a little bit further, your experience of life will change. Okay. So if somebody comes at you in a negative way, throws their energy, and it comes at you with like knives instead of roses, your heart will go, wait, what? The brain goes, I got this pattern. It's when this shows up, I've got to, whatever it is, I got to protect, go into self-preservation mode. And you will then be, the outside will affect you. Your aura, your energy field is super, super important. The more I help you connect, and this is usually Success Hope Therapy, connect with healing the 6 S's. Okay, you have safety, security, stability, sanity, serenity, space, that freedom. And when you start to understand the 6 S's, those insecurities, those restrictions, those I don't feel safe, then you'll understand Maslow's hierarchy of need. If those first ones are not fulfilled, you cannot advance or graduate to the next levels. This is that levels of consciousness. So you need to have from preschool to grade school to, you need all of those, because if you try to figure out and hold a graduate certificate, you wouldn't have the experience necessary to understand, meaning gaining the wisdom. So how do we do it physically? How do we do all this? Well, I teach you how to pay attention, use that gift of awareness. So in a nutshell, instead of teaching a whole course, we're going to go to the next step. Ready? So as I have been working on my spinal cord, now there is what's called meninges. You got 3 particular flow of fluid that go through the spine and the brain, back and forth in great harmony. And when there is a disruption, you'll begin to notice that your body will start changing shape, or your organs will start changing. And it's like, look at him. You'll start changing shape. So what is all that about? Oh, it's because I eat too much. Is it? Oh, it's because, I fell and I hurt myself and left a scar. Is it? The environment does affect, but it's very important. How do you show up for yourself? How do you do this? So I've noticed that my spine and the way I'm sitting, and they call it postural issues. My hips are better. I mean, I'm working physically, doing things, but on the mental and emotional and spiritual, I'm working on my spiritual stuff that affects and changes my emotional and mental. But one day I go in and there's this process called spinal flow. And so I went in and saw this beautiful woman, and she does Reiki with the spinal flow and stuff. And this is my second time being there, and she does her thing, and it's like it's like starting a car. It ain't working. So I can see her. My head's down into a hole, and my body is there. I'm fully dressed, and she's putting her hand on my sacrum to see if she can get the spinal flow going, and it's just not working. You can hear, working through energy, using she used a singing bowls on my 3rd chakra and opened it up, and it changed the frequency. And then she's got frequency. And then she says, okay, we're getting there, but yet it keeps petering out. Can you tell me what has changed in your mind? Because you're all in your head. You're all in your head. Now, remember, I'm not physical. I am emotional. No, not really. Spiritual, not really. I was in my head. And I said, how amazing how something can show up very simple. So I received a bit of interesting news, which then made me stop the energy flow from Mother Earth and Father Sky. So I stopped the tangible. I stopped the flow of my connection that helps balance me. Mother's Earth heartbeat grounds me so that the environment doesn't have to destroy me. Did you get that part? And it all because I got caught in my head, and it will be, stress, thinking of a way to solve it, coping, handling, dealing, pacifying. Now, I wasn't too emotional, but it was more mental. Like, okay, I got to come up with a solution. Because I'm laying there, and as soon as she said that, I'm like, yes, I know exactly what it is. Now, it was important that I articulate this. And it wasn't until I articulated it that all of a sudden she goes, oh, there it is. And I felt it too. My body started to receive energy. But what she did And what spirit showed me was that when she was down at the bottom of my feet, and this is where I want a lot of you, I don't want you to do it, but I was hoping that I could get some people that want to work with me. I haven't decided how I was going to do it. But usually if you're feeling that you can't get energy in the morning or you can't sleep at night, if you feel you're more mental, okay? But on the bottom of our feet, right at the arch of it, is something called the bubbling springs or the well springs of life. And it is the first point of the kidney meridian. It's about water, but it is about life force. And they connect it all back through history. Again, not going to go into the education of it, but what happens is, like, if you lost consciousness or any other stuff, if your feet get too hot at night or you're too mental. So they talk about like rubbing that point, stimulating that point. Well, I couldn't really. So I've had a lot of experiences. So she's down by my feet. She's like, not starting. She went up to my tailbone. Nope, still not working. She goes, suck energy through your feet. She goes, just start sucking energy, because so I had to bring my awareness to my feet. And I started turning that vortex on, which I know how to do. And I turned that baby on, and I just started to connect to Mother Earth. My feet didn't have to be on the floor. And then it automatically, she's like, oh, she could feel it. She went up my legs. I internally felt it go up my legs. And then she's like, so excited. She starts touching my back part of my butt, or that sacrum area. Oh, I lost my screen. That sacrum area. Yeah, lost my screen. Okay. There we go. And it's not working. So I started to play in my mind, because apparently you can't do this particular healing tool by yourself. And I'm like, can you? There's a limitation. I'm not really one for limitations. So I started to look. Oops, there we go. And I started to do the next process, and the energy started going up. And then the energy started going up. It went into my head, and I got out of my head. I stopped being mental, and instantaneously my body started to feel looser. Then I had a couple of people I told it to, but didn't really try. And then I had somebody that came to me, and they have depression, right? So they just can't get their self going. Even if they are doing their best, forcing themselves, got to do this. It just wasn't working. And so I said, okay. I said, play with me. They said, all right. I said, and so I went through the process that hopefully I can get somebody on here to do it with. They were feeling, there's no energy. That'll be the first one. But you're also happy pappy. It says may or may not work. That's the thing. It worked on me, but it took me a while to figure it out that it actually was working. That's why I had to have somebody that was really, I might still use you, I don't know. So they're like really depressed. They're tired. They're just simply freaking tired. And I think it changes the testosterone ways of doing things. The testosterone way of doing things. And I have got more research I've got to do, but at the same time, I said I did nothing. I just said, I gave a set of instructions, and they're like, okay, fine. So they did it. They're sitting there. They're doing what I asked them. Matter of, I'd say less than a minute. All of a sudden, I'm just watching this rush go up into the brain. I'm watching how the spinal fluids are like, whoa, and it was turning on the joy flows, those extraordinary energies. They were coming in. The spinal flow information, it was going up. The brain was getting bathed. The energy in the frontal lobe changed. The body was in harmony with Mother Earth. Now, I don't know if the grounding had happened. I didn't get my test thing, and part of me wants to buy but I don't even know if that'll work. But I was just like, whoa, for a person that's always depressed, this was a change. This was a change. And I'm like, wow. Okay, for those who were watching time, it was 11:11 or 11:33, 44, 94, 94, 3:11. And I thought, how interesting of the numbers. Anyway, so I said, suck it up, you know. It's a different way. You don't really want to say that to a depressed person. So I'm trying to find a unique name for this particular thing that I'm bringing through and observing and watching change. Later on that evening, they were like, I'm still going strong. I'm not depressed. I'm happy. Again, a lot of work was done. This person did a lot of work. It's just the energy is there. So what I noticed was this. We stop connecting the moment our heart goes, and our brain goes, oh, hold on, category. This is what it is. It goes down to our first, second, third chakra, goes to the fourth, goes to all of them. Oh, okay, this is, nope, stop. We've seen this before. Oh my God. And then all of a sudden we just won't suck anything from the outside. And we're contained in this restriction flow. And then we can only recycle the energy we already have. And when you do this so stressfully long enough, the energy that's there is going to be stagnant, stifled, and contaminated by not being able to evolve. So your aura, your energy field, your orb, not only do we need to learn how to take care of the Wichi, the energy that's in that protective shield around you, but we need to learn how to communicate with it, help it so that it protects us, but it also helps contain that inner peace, no matter what shit show is going on out here. So I found another key piece to how to create the cup of peace. Again, I'm still not sure what to call it. But so I thought, okay, get hot feet before you go to bed. Your thoughts are too wild. I'm too mental. See, if you would measure my husband is a physical dude. He's my energizer bunny. He bounces from here to there to there to here and here to there to there to here. It's like all over the place. His energy helps me. Okay, let's do this. Let's go for a walk. Let's work out. Let's do this. And so we start to complement each other, because on the spiritual aspect, I'm in that spiritual emotional connection, creating that heart-brain coherence. And that gives him the field of saying, oh, that's what I want. So we create this beautiful harmony together. Okay, you with me so far? And what I'm beginning to see is that how can me and him be more harmonized to really work in a unique way together, So as I'm learning how to be more physical and protected, he's learning about to be spiritual and protected. It's those needs we need met. And once we start to meet those needs, safety, security, stability, sanity, serenity, and space, then a whole nother world opens up. Somebody says to me, am I an introvert or an extrovert? I was an extreme introvert. My mother would tell you that I was so shy, I would hide behind her dress and all you saw was an eyeball, you know. And then when I got in my 30s, and it's like, you know what, I'm so done with this. Okay. Just prior to that, I had to get over body issues, fear, the insecurities of my body, even to the point because of all of my history, I says, nope, I'm going to get over this. So I put on a bikini and went out and mowed the lawn, not to show off, but to get over my insecurities. That was hard, and I still have them. That didn't work. And then I sat down I found a tool in my 30s and I said, okay, so I've started learning NLP, neuro linguistic programming. Started learning about limitations and decisions and emotions. And then I found this, he has passed over because he had a damage to C7 and T1 and the nerve of C8, which caused, when your nerves get damaged, they haven't really found a way to regenerate because your body can replicate its cells and divide and heal. Whereas the nerves, you have to find a new way to make them heal. Okay. Anyways, he's passed over, but he had left a beautiful tool called timeline therapy behind. So took the course, and now I know how to do it. And so I started doing it for myself. And the first thing that I chose to do was to get over being an introvert. It wasn't I'm going to become an extrovert. It just is, I don't want to be an introvert. So how did I know? So he didn't ask that. I asked that. I started to develop from there about who I was. So as I started to do that, all of a sudden it's like, put a camera in front of me, started playing, practicing, developing, soul coaching myself. And a combination of all of these different healing tools, because some people will say, well, you just need to have one. No, I've got a toolbox. I got the tool belt of all of the healing tools. And I pull them out. I combination a couple. And that's when I started stumbling across the 6 S's: safety, security, stability, sanity, serenity, and space, the freedom. And I think we're going to start doing something in tribal that's going to be relating to working on the successes, going deeper and addressing. Spirit has also decided it wants me to develop a program that is for people that needs a plan. Every day they need a plan. So a part of me was going to figure out how to do that. Spirit has given me tons of information in the last 2 weeks. And it's like, whoa. So I learned to put it on the shelf, started pulling it down. And I think I have an avenue where there can be a set way of helping people and a unique way to deliver it. I just wish I could create an app so that you could tune into it or send some text messaging. Not everybody goes to their emails, but at the same time, in a program that if you were to apply certain healing tools, because remember, you are a sensory being, and these 8 sensory systems, not including your higher sensory perception, need to become balanced. And as they are more balanced, you're going to find more peace. But this aura is very important. So is Angela here? Because I can bring Angela, Ayme. And if we could find one more person that would love to come into the room with me. So I want Ayme, and is Angela here, like you said? I'd like to have an experiment. So Ayme and Angela, we could find Angela. And I just need one more volunteer. Now, there's 9 people here in YouTube land. And hopefully somebody put YouTube on my page. I'm assuming my other moderators did. I'm not sure. But if you're going to come on, you have to use Zoom. And you will be coming on to this program here, Medicine Woman Solution. All right, Crystal. We'll take April. Okay, we'll take April, Lynn. We'll take Crystal. And okay, if Angela's not here, no big deal. I was hoping Thor would walk into the room too, but I don't see her yet. So, but this right now is in an early stage. That means we are going to be looking at, and when we do it, and when a person learns how to do this, they're going to not get the accurate answers in the beginning, because if you don't really know yourself, so it depends on the stage of how you fine tune with yourself, that you're going to be honest with yourself, or you will, you know, so you're learning. So you'll be learning how to build your intuition at the same time, learning to create that trust. So before I bring people on, if my one moderator could see if they can connect with Thor or Angela. We got April, Lynn, Crystal, and Ayme. And if I could find, even if we could try to get 2 more, you know, that'd be fine too. But if my moderators could check, I'm going to go over to the big screen real quick. I do want to show something. Okay. Ooh, I'm a hot one. Hopefully the screen is not going to be too bright. Now, you're going to have this, you're going to laugh because I don't know how to do toes really. But it is, so what do you got here? This is your foot, and at the bottom of your foot, right where the pad of your foot is, right where the arc is, this is where you are going to begin to notice, bring your one awareness. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Because people say, well, I'm being aware. And how do you be aware of that? It means bring your attention to that point right there. So the awareness means attention. But what is you doing? You're paying attention. Who's the you? Who's the you that's paying attention? And that means, oh, I am. I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention. So you're going to start noticing that you're saying I am. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're in a fixed state or the other, but it is the I am. Well, you're not really going to notice. I wonder if I change this a little bit. Whoops, broke that off. Oh, that's all right. I'll fix that later. Okay. A little better. Not a lot. Let's try this one. Hopefully it won't hit the camera. And it is going to hit the camera. Okay. It's a little better. Got the camera kind of far away. Close enough. Okay, so I am paying attention, meaning I'm bringing my eyeballs in my mind, looking at the bottom of my feet. Now I'm feeling, so you're going to use your awareness to feel. Now that's more of a tactile. Can't spell again. Okay, so the tactile. So that means right now I can feel my sandals. I'm lifting up on, I'm feeling my sandals there. It feels a little bit of a moisture. That's good. That means I'm sweating. So I can feel that. Now I'm not focusing on my big toe. I'm focusing on that point. And that's the first step. That's the first step. Okay. Now what else? What else? Once you understand this, then it's about sucking in. You want to be able to learn to suck. What does that mean? You know how to suck through a straw? And you know that the flow, so you suck in energy. So the flow, the direction of flow, instead of pushing out, you're pulling. Right? Now people are like, what am I pulling from? You're going to be pulling from the quantum field. But the quantum field is everything. So you can choose. I'm gonna choose love. I'm gonna suck up Mother Earth. Ooh, yeah. So you're gonna feel. Now, if you have fear, we'll get to that. But right now, just know that intention. So you have awareness, and I'm paying attention. But then quantum field is about intention. You'll see how there are many different things about this. So my intention is that I'm going to use my awareness. My intention is to pay attention to that spot that I am feeling something, but I'm going to start sucking up and pulling from the quantum field. And you're going to start imagining. Okay, now don't do it yet. Those that are going to come in, don't do it. Just wait, just wait, just wait. Because we got to get you to measure. If you are going to do this, if any of you are going to do this, what's the first thing you're going to do? You've got to have a benchmark. You not only are supposed to have a benchmark, but what you're doing is you're creating a parameter. And when you create a parameter, then you can have a before and after. How many of you love those before and after pictures of people that get makeovers? No, this isn't about your ego going, I can't do it. No, 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 no. You're beginning to use your intuition to know how you begin to know how you know you know. So this is all doing more than one thing here, which is incredible because you guys are incredible. So when you start to suck it up, okay, so hopefully I can get a nice shot of that. So you make sure you measure awareness, attention, and then we can talk about the next part of me, the next part. Let's see if we can get these people in. I'll see where my moderators are. Let's see what, just see where we're at. Come on. There we go. Let's see where we're at. So anybody, okay, well, I am going to go look. And so I got to get the link. Got to get the link. TikTok is frozen. Oh, which one? Both? I mean, it looks like it's moving, but it doesn't tell me anything. Is it both or is it just one? All right, well. Okay, oh, thank you, Sharon. Neither is frozen. All is good now. Excellent. Thank you. Now, thank you, Ernie. So if you have problems, go over to YouTube, Medicine Woman Soultion, SOUL2IN, become a member, get notified. And you know, because sometimes my phones don't work properly. Okay, so I'm going to start bringing people in. And I'm going to do that one. And then I said Crystal. What do you go by? Do you go by that on Facebook? Or no, not Facebook. I'm going to just see if I see you in Messenger. Oh, that's not. Yes. I'm going to send it through Messenger. Okay, at the name that you're going by. I think that's the name you're going by on the show. Tell me if that's it, if you can find it, Crystal. And then I got to find Miss April Lynn. Who else do we got? Who did I say? Because we got 2, 3. Like to have like more. So we're gonna let Ayme in. Now you got to be okay with your face being up on the screen. I could check to see. Oh yeah, okay, here we go. Thank you, Crystal. I'm gonna send it to you, darling. All right, we're going to be doing a live. We're going to do a testing. We're going to do this new healing tool. Don't know exactly what we're going to call it, but we're going to find out. I'm sure there's PIFs today. You know, I haven't even checked to open up that yet. I'm not going to assume, but Ayme has given 3 PIFs. So yes, we do have 3 PIFs today. Thank you for asking. We've also have April Lynn that's doing a chat. So I probably should write that down while I'm waiting. I just about lost all my stuff there. So we got Miss April Lynn. And then we have Ayme. And then we're going to get through this first experiment and see what we get.
Brenda, Thor cannot type on her phone on YouTube. So send her the link too, maybe.
Well, that just sucks. So it's the same link as I just sent.
Do you want me to just send it to her?
If you can, I don't know why it would, because I asked her if she was there. You got her attention. That's great, because I couldn't get it. I don't see Angela either. So even if I just get a few, that'll be fine.
There, Thor, I sent you the link.
All right, so we're down with April Lynn. I sent one to her. Hopefully it went through. And then Crystal Allen. So yes. Yes, and April Lynn, yours went through too. So now it's just organizing and getting all of these in sync with it. Whew, it's becoming to be a hot one. So Thor is here. We just can't see her.
Right.
That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking down the road I could do Facebook, but at the same time, it's like I think I would be going and doing what Spirit would tell me. What are you doing? What are you doing? When you move forward, you let go completely. Okay, it's like that time I had my friend, and I find a way to be with my friend, and Spirit's going, no. It's like, okay, yeah, don't need a. I just walk away gracefully. So let's see. I'm gonna give permissions to I don't know if I trust this weather. So Ayme, if you could make sure you record this part for me.
Okay. I got it.
All right, so we got hi. So we got a couple, and I'm hoping one more person can make it. If not, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. How wonderful. We have Crystal and we got April, and we have Ayme. So hopefully you guys, when you were listening, didn't practice any of this, because I know how easy it is just to start following and thinking. But kind of right now, kind of measure your mood. So write down your little piece of paper. What's your mood? Did anybody just piss you off? So we're going to have 2 questions at that first part. Whoops. Got to stop knocking that on the ground. So we're looking at your mood, and did anybody piss you off? Okay, so do you also feel like physically tired?
I do.
Okay. So we're going to have these wonderful ladies use a chat room. I'm going to open up the chat box so I can say. So we'll have them. So when you measure your mood and when you're measuring these things, 10 would be the worst. Oh, April Canine. Okay, so you're coming through did you notice I sent you a messenger link. Did you say it's working or not working? Ah, here we go. Good, then I will paste it here. I wonder if that'll work. Don't know, we'll find out. Because again, I'm looking for Spirit to give me that. How can I create an app, or how can I get to text messages you guys? Being that it's Australians far away, it may not work. So I've got to figure out a way to do this. So you're on your computer. You should be able to access Zoom still, regardless. You may have to mute YouTube, who knows? Now, typically, when you wake up, how do you guys usually feel? This way? Does it feel like you're normed? Does it feel familiar? Yes. So Crystal says yes, it feels familiar. Miss April, what do you think? I did send the Zoom link. I already did. I don't know if she can see it on Messenger at all.
When I wake up, I have a lot more energy than I do right now.
Now you've put in a whole day though, 'cause you get up at like butt crack of dawn.
So, and plus I put in 2 whole days.
Oh,
On Saturday, I worked from, not including getting up and driving there, but I worked from 8:20 to 6:44. And then today there was time change. So by the time I got to bed, it was 11 and I got up at 3. So I
yes.
clocked in at 4:20 this morning and left at 1:44 this afternoon.
Oh, wow.
Oh, hold on. I need to do what? Oh. Amy, I heard you say aloud. Do you mean that for me or her or me?
No, I said, oh, wow, for April.
Oh, wow. Okay. So yes, so that's a good thing to understand. Why it is important we understand what time you have to get up and how physically how you work. Do you feel mentally drained?
I did, but I just took an Epsom salt bath, so I
Well,
feel relaxed right now.
Okay,
But
we're gonna see how this works.
I still
see.
have some tiredness and discomfort because it is about my bedtime. So
Okay. So the one thing is that we know that there is a time zone change, and has that happened for Amy and Crystal? Did you get a time zone change, or you guys don't change your time zones? Okay, because I know when I lived in Indiana, we didn't have a time zone change. You can't seem to log in. Can you send her the numbers and so that she can have that just like sign into a meeting, give her the number and the password if you don't mind. That would be great. It's important to know little details like this when you're doing an experiment because everybody is vastly different. They live in different places. So what time is it there for you, Miss April?
9:29 p.m.
And Crystal, what time is it there for you? Oh, you're hold on. All right, I'm going to ask you to unmute. There you go.
7:29 p.m.
So there's a 2 hours there. And Amy, what time is it for you?
It is 8:30.
Okay, so we got all 3 hours right there. Okay. And for me, I'm on the other side of the world. It's noon. It's noon on a Monday. So your body is very important to know that it has a clock. And it knows based on the light, the ionization, whether you live in a desert or near the water, and where you think, oh, I want positive ionization. Do you want the actual opposite? This is why when she talked about having a bath, the bath was giving her the ionizations, giving that negative ionization that needs to be in her space so she can feel good, because we can be affected by the barometric pressure and the way that Mother Earth works. So it is all important. Now I'm going to do my best, because the reason I asked them for their times, don't know if I can do it on my here or not. Hopefully that doesn't screw up the screen for anybody.
Okay, Brenda, I got April Thor. Check your messages from me. I sent you the same link that Brenda sent me, and I also sent you the numbers in our personal chat.
Yeah, so go look at Messenger, please. Okay. Okay. I'm trusting that spirit, whatever it is, to show up, that we see how this runs. So I'm looking at the circadian rhythms that our body uses, and this is more on the physical level than anything. Right now, we're gonna spirit still wants me to do this, but it's gonna okay. Oh, maybe after. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. So everybody, while we're waiting, Amy, let's just talk while we wait. All right, so what we're gonna do is gonna ask all of you guys, but here's the thing. What mood are you in? Let's just write that down. What mood is Amy in?
I'm in a good mood.
Okay, so Amy's in a good mood. And April, Lynn, you're in a peaceful mood, just tired.
Yeah, more exhausted. I'm ready to end the day and recharge.
Okay, now see, this is why it's important because I also know this is supposed to help relax too. Do you get hot feet at night or anything? Do you
Yeah,
have sometimes your mind does not shut off?
yeah,
Okay, now
yes.
this, according to everything I've been studying, then this would be very beneficial to learn from you. You do this like every night before you go to bed, get it before and after, and maybe get more proof or understanding about it. Does that make sense? Okay, so this will be, if you get hot feet or you can't get out of your head, this will be a test for down the future as well. So now we have Crystal Allen. What kind of mood are you in? Let me get this turned back on for you.
In a good mood.
Pretty good? All right. Do you feel like this is your daily mood, that you're not happy, you're not sad, and you're not whatever, you're just an eh? So you're more of a meh. So we have a meh. We have two goods and a meh. And yeah, see, I don't know why she's not getting it. It's not working. Well, we may have to
You can't hear me?
no, not you.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
The other person we're waiting on. So now we're just going to ask the question while we're still waiting. Did anybody piss you off, Ayme?
Didn't necessarily piss me off, but it was an annoyance.
All right, so it made your mind start to think, and your heart be like, come on. Well, so
Yeah.
did it you were mental. Okay. So notice that when you did that, did you feel like your energy was restricted, like you wanted nothing to do with the outside?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good awareness. Now, Miss April, White Flower, same thing. Did anybody make you upset?
No one but my own thoughts, because
Okay.
I noticed that my body, I'm listening to my body, and my body is going, you're not supported. That's why you're here at work doing 3 jobs, 3 people for 3 people's work.
Good to notice that. All right. So notice though that the energy became restricted. You didn't feel the aches and pains. Okay. And Crystal Allen, same thing. Did anybody make you upset? Did you feel okay? No, but you just feel like there's restrictions, like limitations. You can't really get anywhere or do things, or you don't have the strength. Okay, so now we kind of have an idea of that. Now, if I asked you we know that we know that April Lynn is physically tired. Crystal Allen, do you feel physically tired?
No.
No, okay. And Ayme, what do you?
Physically tired. Not
Okay, now
necessarily physically, but maybe mentally. It's like my eyes weren't closed. I basically woke up tired this morning, but
okay. Now we may just have to skip it if she can't get in, and that's fine. That's fine. We're gonna be playing with this, a lot of this tomorrow in class as well. So now the important part is to measure. On a scale from 0 to 10, do you have any get up and go? Did it feel like it left? What do you think, Ayme?
I'm gonna say about a 3.
So you have, yeah, I can get up to a 3 of get up and go. Is that what you're saying? Okay. So if you were Miss Whiteflower, do you have any get up and go? Yes?
I have more now than I did before I took my Epsom salt bath, because I was just going to be like, go to bed, go to sleep.
Basically, you were in the negative, and now you're 0, 1, 3, where?
Probably a 3, because I had enough energy to come on. When you said you want help, I was like, sure, I got a little more energy today. So
And Miss Crystal Allen, do you feel like you got to get up and go, or do you just feel like it left? You're just like, eh.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's like a 0, right? And it's like you just don't have, maybe one. Yeah, I got to get up and get myself something to eat or something, but it's like barely there. Now, happiness, we're going to measure happiness. We're going to measure that state. Ayme.
8.
10. Okay, well, hold on. 8. Okay, so happiness is an 8. I'm gonna make sure I write that down. And Miss April Lynn, happiness is a what?
I'm pretty happy, so I'd say an 8 too.
Okay, and Crystal Ellen, a happiness?
About 7.
Okay, 7. Now, would you say that there's any negative mood, any negative thinking? And if there is, could you just measure that? Now, again, how do we know that we're not just Ayme? When you really look at it.
Yeah, there is a repeating negative thought.
Okay. Now, again, she has been doing this work a long time. So what number would you say that negativity is?
A 3.
All right. And then Miss April Lynn.
Yeah. I gotta get up early again and gotta stand on my feet again.
Yes. All right. So what number would that be?
3, 4. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And Crystal Allen, do you feel any negative feelings at all?
About 5, maybe.
5 or 3? I'm gonna give you a
5.
4. 5,
Okay.
5. Gotcha. Okay. So now what we're gonna notice is when I'm talking to people and I'm communicating and I'm giving instructions. So basically my show is basically a free class, and I think I need to start selling it, or at least advertising it that way. I want you to understand that you are choosing at this point to, okay, I'm going to tune in. I'm going to, I was just waiting for this other thing to show up. Got it. I'm going to tune in and I'm going to, I'm looking at it. So that means the first thing you're doing is I'm going to switch cameras so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. Can you all see that, hopefully?
Yeah.
So know where that spot is in the bottom of the feet. Yes, all of you? Okay, so we need to know this. So awareness is that you are going to become aware that you have feet. And now you're going to bring your attention to that spot on the bottom of your foot. And you're going to feel, like right now, you're going to feel, does it feel hot or cold? Is it touching anything? Is your sock there? Like Ayme, what are you aware of when you think of the bottom of that part of your foot right there?
I can feel my socks. I can kind of feel the bottom of my slippers. And
Okay.
my feet are actually warm for a change.
And they feel warm. Very good. Miss April Lynn.
Mine are warm and they're in my slippers. No socks.
No socks, but you can feel it. Good. Miss Crystal Allen.
My feet are kind of numb right now, so I don't really feel anything.
Okay, so notice that she has the numbness. All right, thank you. Let's take the next thing. It says, now, you guys know how to suck energy, right? Like when you suck with a straw. Now, imagine that you can feel that spot is as if you were touching it. If you can't, I want you to take your hand and literally touch that spot, okay? I want you to feel that spot. I want you now to use your awareness that you are paying attention to how, if you're touching deep or if you're touching lightly, if your fingers are cold, noticing that your inner awareness, your psychic awareness is paying attention to where you're placing your finger. You got that? Now, when you feel this, you are bridging, taking a bridge, and you're creating a construction in your mind that, oh, wait a minute, I'm touching that point. And my body is aware that I'm touching that point. So something's touching me. Oh, Thor did make it in. Okay, cool. And that I want you to just do that. So you guys take a few minutes and do this while I talk with Miss Thor, get her caught up, okay? And you can touch both feet, play with both feet, kind of use your awareness. We're going to learn how to tune in. Now, Thor, we're gonna get you caught up. So let me get my camera back real quick. Now, a lot of this is inspired from this little lady here, Miss Thor. And she has a purpose here on Earth. And she's also has a purpose with me. And Spirit is like, she needs something. And you are meant to learn from each other so that I could help the rest of the world in whatever form, whoever I'm supposed to work with. So I appreciate that. I have been gathering information for about 2 weeks, and all of a sudden Spirit says, well, now she's the one that's raised her hand and wants to have certain things done. So, oh, by the way, the movie Dog, I highly suggest watching it because it reminded me of you. And it was a beautiful movie. So yeah, I bawled. So anyway, I can see why your purpose is very important. Okay. So with this, I want you to notice, what mood are you in? What mood are you in? Oh, gotta turn your mic on, babe.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm on my phone, so it came up and said that. So it was, yeah, it didn't. This is why I haven't been part of the reason I haven't been getting on, because I couldn't do it on my computer, and I had trouble doing it on with my phone. So hopefully I'll figure it out so I can get on
All
sooner.
right, so notice that
Okay.
she has frustration. So she just gave an example of frustration. And so what kind of mood does that create?
Well, I'm tired because it was a long day at work and my feet hurt. So I'm
All
ready
right, so
just to,
physically we're tired. What about mentally?
I just feel like relaxing.
Okay, so you want to relax. Now, so do you have any get up and go? Has it left? And if you have any get up and go, what number would that be?
No, I don't want to get up and go.
So I would have to say it's a 0. Okay. Now, what about your happiness on the scale from 0 to 10, 10 being I'm really happy? What number would it be? Not the
6.
math, this 6. Very good, very good. And negativity that's around you. 10 being, Jesus, I have some negativity, like thoughts and things or external. What number would that be?
4. I mean,
4.
if I think about all the stuff I have to do, would it go up? Maybe.
All right, 4 plus. So
I
what
just have no
happened?
gumption.
Okay, you just got some gumption?
No, I have none. Zoop,
Have
it's
none.
gone with my
Right, so this is
testosterone.
the one thing that you're going to be doing in the morning. This was what I was planning on having you do. This is one reason that I'm having you here, is because this is going to be a form of experience. We know that April Lynn is about nighttime. And for you, Thor, it's in the morning. I don't know, something just freaked out my foot down there. Okay. So we're going to pay attention to how, let's see. Can you, okay, so when you, all of you, when you feel when somebody's pissed you off or the outside has pissed you off, things aren't working, can you feel that restriction? Yes or no? You just feel restricted. Okay, that's a normal reaction, right? Let me tell you what it does to you physically. Now we're going to catch you up on the board over here. So we're going to make sure that she is on the same page. And you got to remember that the key thing is that you, if you're going to be at any point, you're creating a restriction. When you start to create a restriction, your whole body pays the price, mentally, emotionally, physically. A lot of people that I've been watching, their frontal lobe will flip, their kanji pull, the energy that's in their body basically stalls. But when you go to test it, it may not show up. So I found that fascinating. So we're here, we are. So Thor, you're going to catch up with everybody. So use your awareness, bring your attention to the bottom of your foot. And I am touching this, or I am, but notice the awareness. What, first of all, do you've got a sock, a shoe? Is it cold? Is it warm? What are you right now? Notice that spot. What is it doing? Where is it?
Okay, am I supposed to be touching it? Because touching it feels good. My feet hurt.
Okay, so regardless, if you weren't touching it, normally it'd be in a shoe, a sock, or it'd be on the floor.
Yeah.
What would it be?
It's in a sock.
It's in a sock. So your awareness that your foot, you can feel without even your hands that your foot, by bringing your eyeballs down to the bottom of your foot, you can feel with your eyes, with your feet. Your feet have eyes, okay? Just so you're understanding, we're building your sensory system of inner intuition. You don't necessarily have to have your eyeballs there, but when you use your awareness of going, oh, I can see and feel the tactileness with my feet, okay? Now, what happens is I want you to touch it, so everybody's touching it, they can feel it, and just by taking and having your fingers there, and all of you have done both sides, is that you are, because your body, the magnetic flow, so you have electromagnetic energy in the blood, in your feelings, in your hands, and when you're touching this, the brain's going, registers that something is touching it. You're touching it. And so then what will happen is an electromagnetic energy will start to flow. This is a good thing. We want to pull them out of your limbs, but we are paying attention to this limb because this is the well springs of life. This is about light. This is about the first energy that comes into, again, not going to do all the teaching right now, but this is a very important part for everybody. Babies, people that are unconscious, everybody. You want to start to. Now, we're going to just slightly stimulate. And a lot of you said that feels good. Now, I'm noticing all of you you're going to need to use your magnet on. But before we use our magnet, I just want you to feel. And, once you've rubbed both sides, I'm going to notice, because it's magnetically frozen, energy is not going to move. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check Ayme. She's not doing bad. I'm going to check Miss April Lynn. Not bad. Thor, it's stuck. Crystal, it's stuck. So the energy in the front flow is that Ayme and April Lynn, the energy is moving, but with those other two, it is like, which means you can go into depression or can't hold peace or can't get into creating your future. The frontal lobe is about creating your future. It's about choosing which personality that wants to show up, about how you want your life. Okay, so just rubbing it, it hadn't done much. Now, before we're going to unlock this, because I could do another experiment, but I'm not. I want you to take your magnet or your hand, whichever you have. They're going to work. You're going to start with your left side first. And if you have just your hand, you're going to make sure doesn't matter which side you start with, palm or back, but I want you to do 24 times. Now, you guys can't quite see that in YouTube or yeah.
Okay,
YouTube.
I got mine done.
Okay, good. So this is what we do. We're going to make sure, and if you got a magnet, great. If not, now push in 30 times. Now, I don't think it's going to do too much, but we're going to find out. This is when you investigate. This is where you can get happy surprises. This is where you can get development and movement because you're creating a parameter. You're having a benchmark, your befores and afters.
Will you check mine? Because I might have to do it again.
Okay, now before you do it again, did you both do left and right?
Yes.
Okay, so what we're going to do is that once you've done both, now I'm going to check. The first test is up here on Thor. So it's slightly moving. I guess I'll do it this way. So this should be strong and then this should go, right? So on Thor, it is slightly moving, meaning there's finally some movement. So the magnetic part worked. Now, if I look just at the bottom of her foot, again, not in her space, it's just I can read it from here. As I touch the bottom of her foot, it's barely moving. Now, could we do magnetic energy? Meaning do the magnet again? We could, but in this case, her body is in habit form of being locked. I could measure this and get it up to a 10, but before she does, I want her to immediately start sucking energy like a straw,
Okay, will you do me a favor? Check the left side again, because I did do it with the magnet and again. Check the left
All right,
foot.
so just check the left foot. It is okay, so it moved it up 2 degrees, so that's
Okay.
good. So we would eventually have to get a 10, but we're just going to do this. I want you to imagine that you're nobody else here, just hurts. I haven't measured the rest of you.
Okay, got it.
Nobody even think. Tune me out. So Thor, suck. Imagine that that's opened up and you're sucking from the quantum field and you're pulling energy in. Be like a vacuum cleaner, but you're sucking in up the good stuff. It knows the difference between bad and good, and it's only connecting into the higher frequency. So it's sucking. Use your intention. Really suck, really suck. I'll come back to you in just a minute. Keep sucking. Give yourself a few minutes. Let's go up to Miss Ayme. Let's check the bottom of your foot. Way better. And it is, that's really good. So now you start sucking. Miss April, let's check yours. That's cool. Yeah, so you were locked only on one side. That's good. We got them both open. That's good. Start sucking away. Crystal, we're going to check you. That's opened up a little bit. Not bad. We're going to have you start sucking. Okay, so we didn't have, bless you, we didn't have problems with Ayme or April, except for April Lynn had a left side, right side imbalance. So as they're sucking, now you're going to notice it's coming up through the legs, right? And as you begin to suck, this is the next part. Oops, that's wrong. Is that you're going to pay attention to, not that. Oops. All right.
I'm about 8 times in.
Hmm?
I have about 8 times that I've took in a
Okay,
deep
just
breath.
talking, so we're talking about, giving yourself a couple, 2 to 3 minutes, up to 5, whatever. Sometimes our attention span doesn't go as long. We may have to come back to more of a focus. We want to learn to expand that ability to pay attention. So what does this mean? So on your spine, okay, on your spine, well, you're not that skinny. A little bit of gap. At the bottom, you got a butt crack, right? Right above the butt crack is this point. I don't know if you guys can see it. So you can't even see it here. So it's just like right at the top of your butt crack. Now you have a spine that goes up through the neck and into the head and into the forehead. So the bottoms of your feet, you're going to suck up. Okay, and as you begin to suck up the energy at the bottoms of your feet, you're going to feel it pool. You're going to feel it pool. So you're going to start feeling and getting your awareness that, let's say that I came along and touched the bottom of your feet, or an angel came along and touched the bottom of your feet. Give yourself a filing cabinet reference of how you know that bottoms of your feet are being touched. I'm not doing it. It's just an example, the power of suggestion. You talk to your guides, whatever you want, because I can see animals going up and touching these for you if you feel unactivated. So now it's going to go up. As it goes up, it's going to pool. When you feel that sensation in this, you can at the same time begin to feel like it's bump, 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 but you're going to find a rhythm where all of a sudden you're going to feel it go bump, bump. They're in harmony. They're in sync. They're in sync. If you're like, well, I can't do it, then get your awareness back down to your feet. And if you feel you can't, then you take and you deliberately start drawing the energy, because the kidney meridian begins on the bottom of the foot, comes around the ankle, comes up in the inside of the leg, up to the front. Now, it goes up to the energy of the back. Okay, so if you have to activate, what does it feel like to get pictures, to create that bridge? Understand the brain sees in pictures. And it's activating all the rest of your sensory systems. Now, once you start to pull, it starts bringing it up by breathing. Now, notice that when you breathe, this is not going to work really, really well, is it? notice when you breathe, you want to stick your gut out. So it'll be like, wait, can't even breathe right. So this will kind of go out. It's better if you're laying down on your belly, okay? And you can really feel the emotion, because the whole thing is your body's going to start as a wave, okay? So you're going to feel that energy arc. It'll create the arc. So your butt cheeks will want to pop out, okay? Hopefully I said that correctly. And what comes up is that a lot of you are going to be stuck and petering and you can't get it to move. You may all of a sudden go, it's just not moving. Well, the first time I started to get mine going, my hips went like this. And I'm like, why is it doing that? It's trying to shake it because I have one hip that's out and it's looking at life's spiritual issue. Literally life's spiritual issue. The memory when you're laying on, I'm going to create a meditation, I think. What the memory that came up for me was when I fell out of the car, flew out and hit that hip. So my body said there is a physical thing. Okay. How many of you have a belief that if, like, I have a toenail where I dropped a gate and a big gate smashed that toenail came off and it grew back funny. Like it grew, it can't grow out the full length. So it grows back and it's like, ah, so physically. So I got scars, I've got bumps, I've got bruises, and the body says, oh, I remember. But inside the body, we don't think about all those things. But if you get the energy moving, that's where Reiki, that's where exercise, that's where yoga, that's where physical therapy, just stretching, nerve flossing begins to help release what we can like see on the outside, but it begins to release, it begins to create a new pattern because it has the ability to, the cell to replicate, to divide, the body can create new pathways, okay? So my body, my hips were going like this and I couldn't get no movement up here. And the upper part of me was like really tight. And then finally I was like, okay, it's not moving. All right, so then I got it to breathe. And as I was breathing, I deliberately used myself. My body don't know what a wave feels like. Well, what does a wave feel like? So I played, I practiced, I trained my brain, built the filing cabinet. So just kind of imagine as you're sitting there how that feels. It just reminds me of the movie, what do you call it? Where she's having a fake orgasm in the restaurant and everybody goes, oh, I don't know what she's having. Can't remember what that movie was called. But so the next time I went, this was flowing. Okay, I knew it was. And then I got that news. Real quick, brief second. Energy was restricted so solid, it just said, nope, no support, no love, no support, no love. I know I repeat it, but from Mother Earth or anybody from the external world, F you, blah, blah, blah. I created a mental restriction and I was all in my freaking head. That energy could not come in, nor could it flow. And anything I had there was creating, to my hips to go out, this part to go out, this to all get tight, my shoulders to fall forward. So this time when I went in and I'm talking to her, she says she couldn't get it going. Finally, she says to me, oh, whoops. She says, we got to get you to tell me, or you bring awareness. What are your thoughts? Where are you going? What were you doing? And Spirit says, I asked, I go, I know what she's talking about. I just don't want to admit it. Oh my God, I caught what I said. And then she says, you're really mental and you will not let the energy flow. It wasn't emotional, it was mental. Fine. That person that called hurt my feelings. My heart said, what? I'm not emotional. But it's so busy that I cannot communicate with Mother Earth. I couldn't get the tanji pulled right. Couldn't get nothing right. So as soon as I said, okay, it was this, and I articulated it, boom, I started to imagine that these opened. And bam, did all of a sudden the energy come up, cool, went up. And then my body started to do some strange things. My arms started to, it was going through helping to release history of life. And I started to get the flow. So what happened then is that somebody I deeply love said, oh, I just can't get started in the morning. Let me get the camera switched for you guys here. Oh, they had coffee, they had hey, I'm doing my heart brain, my best. Oh, gee, I'm so exhausted. And all of a sudden, Spirit said, look at him. So I'm looking at him and I'm like, oh, all that mental energy's in their head, all the things they got to do. There's a lot of some dread and there's like, okay, let me have more coffee. Nothing's working. They're procrastination, but they're forcing themselves. They just can't do nothing. And I checked and their frontal lobe, their energy was off. They started leaning. I said, how far are you into depression? Oh, I'm getting there. I can feel it. It's just, doing my best not to think about it. And it was just everyday stuff of life, nothing too dramatic at this point. Does this make sense? It just really was nothing too big. So then I said, okay, I'm going to have you do one thing. So I checked and their magnetic flow was fine. Everything was good. Frozen, not happy, but yet when you're not happy, it comes with a set of thoughts. So everybody comes with their set of thoughts. That's why I asked you about your mood. And then we have the mass thoughts, and then we have the real thoughts sit back going, okay, but it's still mental. I gotta make it through this. So I said to them, I just want you to, and I touched the bottom. I did the same process, had them suck. I actually didn't really do hardly anything. And they just started sucking. They go, can I suck with my hands too? I said, yes. So they're sucking with the palms of their hands and the bottoms of their feet. It wasn't even a minute. I rechecked these two particular testing points. There was flow. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, they had to leave. Then they come back. And then the next thing you know, I said, I've got to finish this. I said, what kind of mood? Are you still depressed? No, that's gone. I got to go. Oh, what? Okay. Let's try this again. And then we did it again. And it was just like, but you have to be aware that something is happening. And then when I finally got them to be aware that something was happening, they're like, yes, there was a major difference. Now they're retraining how they know. So when they got up this morning, I said, suck it up, and they knew what I meant because it was about their feet. So they started before they could even get out of the bed to pee, because there was just they're completely tired, not physically tired where you want to sleep, but there was just nothing in the tank or nothing at home in the head here. And you can physically do things, but you need this to make it better. And so they did, and all of a sudden they're a freaking Energizer bunny and happy. There was no depression this morning. So will this work for all of you? I don't know. While I was talking to you, you are not aware of how you know, but I want you to begin to notice how you know. Ayme, did you notice anything?
I noticed the energy coming up, and I noticed, my body moved.
Oh, excellent.
And before I got out of bed this morning, I did it. Because you had said that in a private session, and I'm like, I'm going to lay on my belly and I'm going to do this. And my body moved this morning as well.
Good. Not a lot of restrictions?
Mm-mm.
No. But what did it do to you emotionally?
It lightened the mood in my head. It lightened the energy that was sitting there, because it was stagnant. It was kind of stale. It wanted to pull me down.
Okay, and then after you did it, it stopped pulling?
It stopped pulling, and I actually not as tired.
Sorry. Well, that's good. Not as stairs. Okay, hold on. All right. Apparently he's not gonna stay. And now what did you got any get up and go?
Yeah, I
Doesn't
could
mean
if yeah, I could.
Could you also relax if you wanted to?
Absolutely.
So the get up and go doesn't always mean that now you got too much energy, you can't do anything. It just means your thoughts are starting to come in balance with your emotions, and your emotions and your thoughts are coming in balance with your spirit, and then it becomes in balance, completely starts to get balanced with the physical. So we're creating the harmony between the four body systems. So would you measure your get up and go more than a 3, less than a 3?
About an 8.
Okay, good. So you could do it more often, and if you really wanted to do it. Training the body to know that that should be your new habit. Now let's talk about happiness. Is it 8, higher, same, lower?
I'd say it's a 10.
Okay. And then your negative thoughts that were a 3.
What negative thoughts?
What negative thoughts? Good. Starts to balance it. Excellent. Thank you so much. Your voice is important. Now, Miss Sunshine. Sunshine. Oh, you went from sunflower to sunshine. Miss April.
I feel like the last couple weeks that I have been experiencing this, doing this, and then you just gave me the pamphlet of how to put it all together.
Spirit works in great ways. Excellent. Okay, so do you have get up and go now? I mean, it was a 3.
Yes, I don't have that dread. Like, tomorrow's gonna be easy peasy.
Good. Notice it took care of the negative. And so the happiness then?
Yeah, I feel really happy. A 10.
No, now notice that the words are very important. You said content. Notice your words to you of how you describe that. Would you like this, or would you like to go back to that other?
No,
Okay,
I like
so it's
this.
this or better. Now, if you're like, I like this, but let me try it, you could go more and it could be better. Okay.
Yes.
So notice how you know, and is it changing? Once your brain does this, you're going to start wanting to reach for something as simple as standing there working your butt off, but then you're gonna like, no, I'm going to suck it up as I'm making the bacon. You could be doing this, and then your whole
I
body.
always dance and wiggle. I just shake it off.
I love it. Keep doing it. Thank you so much for your voice. I appreciate it. Miss Crystal Allen. Now, your awareness, you may have gotten something, you may not have gotten something. Just tell me what you feel. Do you feel like anything's changed?
Actually, like my right leg, my knee down, it was all swollen, and it actually is gone now.
Excellent, excellent. The physical body needs flow. And I'm not, again, I don't know what the name of the word of this is going to be, but I'm going to get a name for this. Now, what else? Did you notice as you did it, do you feel like you have more get up and go? Do you still feel like meh?
Nah.
Oh, is the meh there? Is it better than it was before?
Yeah, but I just can't get myself to do anything.
Right. But if notice the choice factor is in this like can't, it's just I don't want to. There's a big difference in the thinking there. Now, what about your happiness? Do you feel like you could be more happier than you were?
Well, yeah.
And it was a 7. Has it gone higher?
Maybe one or two.
Maybe notice that if you could focus on it, where it's like you couldn't really focus on it. Yes, I'm happy, but now it feels like it's happy, but I could focus on it. So there's a different layer to the happiness. Instead of having that shroud of meh, it is, I can just sit here and feel it. That's what I can see. Can you feel that? Excellent. What about your negative thinking? Any negative thinking there? It was a 4+. What do you got?
I don't know.
No, you don't care? It's not there? Good. It could be better than morphine. Who knows? Thank you so much. Crystal Allen, keep healing, keep using it on yourself. You are worth it. Thank you so much, ladies. Let's go to Miss April, Miss April Thor. And get your mic on, my friend, and let's talk.
Okay.
How do you feel?
Same.
The same. Now, when you said that you didn't have any get up and go, now again, this is about the mindset. This is why this was starting to be created for you. and the people that are like you. You feeling nothing. The mood's the same, the happiness the same, the negativity's the same. You're training yourself how you know you know.
Yeah, that's what I have a problem with. Is
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
knowing
But
how
begin
I
to
just-
notice. Now,
I
see,
don't-
I'm checking. See, Crystal Allen's is moving. Hers is moving. Yours is not. Now I'm gonna ask, why is it? And I need a pen note for this. And so we're gonna just read a little bit more. Did she suck it up correctly? Yes. Is the energy moving there? Did it move to up her legs? Did it go to the tailbone? Is it moving beyond the tailbone? No. So it's stuck at the tailbone and not going through. When you were doing the exercise of it, did you deliberately move, or did you just sit there?
I just sat here and I was imagining it going, and I kind of felt like like I could kind of feel it coming up through my feet up to my legs, and then I just had to use my imagination of it going the rest of the way up, because I
Okay.
really didn't
So
feel like it was
let me
moving.
help you understand how to use the imagination a little more. So in meditation classes, or when you're doing chord switching, and this is the other part that all you need to do is that when you have a negative thing, whether it's a person or a job or whatever it is that you're going to need to do chord switching. Okay, so before we do chord switch, because you guys, some of you know, I want you to, what pissed you off? What created the negativity? And that's who you're going to chord switch, or that's what you're going to chord switch with. Hold on. Okay. Don't do it. Ayme, I can just see you're like, I'm done. No, just do wait, woman. When you do it, your physical body is asking you not to use your imagination because you haven't developed that intuition good. So that means you physically are going to have to play with the physical body to get it going. So now you're going to have to use your hands. You're going to have to use emotions, and you're going to have to train your body to feel what it feels like. Okay. Don't rely just on thinking, because the mental part is not communicating with the picture part. Okay. So if the brain communicates with the body, but the heart brain communicates at least twice, if not 3 times more. And what I'm getting is that you can't get to the heart of it. You can't connect with that heart part. So you're relying on your brain to come to your body and waiting for the relay, and it's not happening. So you need to start to physically say, okay, I'm going to imagine. So you're going to imagine, go with it with your hands, maybe rub it at your feet at the bottom, but you need to physically start creating a mental picture, an emotional picture, a physical picture, because you have a different sensory system. Okay. So as I look, you're sucking. You're just imagining the energy's coming up, but I want you to then just kind of rub the side of your leg, like I showed you. Go up to the, follow your big toe if you want, or underneath your foot, go around your ankle, then come straight up. And you may have to go to the K27 and jig these. Okay, so you may, and you know how to do this because it's energy medicine as you did this, but part of you needs to physically get moving. Now, as in the spine, you have had some damages. I've seen that you've got physically hurt. So I'm assuming with animals and cars, and even down to the blood vessels and things like this. So you have a lot more that you have to work through. That means you're going to have to be more consistent with this tool to get the results that it looks so easy for everybody else that they got, because the body's asking, can you help me? You are learning to show up for it, and you're doing it. You're like taking this medicine, or not medicine, this herbal, this whatever it is. I'm physically running the energies. But in this case, I need you to notice, I'm mental. You're just going to have to start to go, okay. So you are going to have to really understand how to do a chord switch with everything that bothers you, because you can't help but build this intolerance tube, which then causes the body to start the restriction to stay. So now if I look and the chord switching, we're gonna, don't mute your mic, April, just gonna say, everybody gonna write down, what do they need a cord switch? What pissed them off? What got in their way? What is it? Write it down. What bothered you? Who bothered you? Put it down. Okay, a simple conversation can restrict you. This, I noticed for my health, my body started to reshape itself based on the fact I couldn't let life flow through me. Okay, so you don't have to tell me, but you can give it in a word that will not give it away. So we protect people's privacy. We don't. So Ayme, what's the best way to say person? Is it?
A couple people.
Okay, well, I'm not going to be able to take that right now. So we're going to say no to that.
Okay.
So notice that it's a couple people. Okay. Well, actually, wait a minute. Let her in. We can try it. I just don't want the rest of my show. But hey, this show is all about something different today anyway.
Angela, come back in.
Come back in. We'll take care of this. Now, Ayme, what I want you to do. So you said a couple people.
Yep. A couple
And how do you know it bothered you?
Because they aren't I'm not thinking about them with all 41 thoughts, but it keeps popping up.
And it's very draining when that topic of how to cope, handle, deal, and all of this is there. And you're like, oh, it's still in my face. The Akashic record's open. I'm still learning from this. So it's annoying you in some form. Yes? Frustrated, annoyed somehow?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to think about that's who you're going to have in your cord switch. You can have one or more. So you're going to put them behind a glass for me right now. And then Miss April, Lynn, you too, start thinking about, or tell me. Hi guys. Mama's going to give you some food. How's that? You don't seem to be talking to each other today. You freaking blew out the thing, Charlie. How can I do this? You're just going to tear it apart, young man. What's mommy going to have to do to you, huh? Just a minute. April, you can talk to me if you want.
I guess I just think because I have that awareness that it is my own thoughts. So then sometimes I'm like, oh, why can't I just get over this?
Right. Okay. So you're going to put your thoughts. You're going to put those in the back out there in front of that glass that they can't get past. And notice it's a self, a personality of self. How old would you say that personality of self is?
It would just be my childhood because that's what I think about. Because I wasn't supported, and then it goes to family members that didn't support me in my environment.
Good. Throw that out behind the glass. Crystal Allen, did you have anything that you wanted to break a cord with, a people or any of that? Or just life itself?
Actually, someone at my door. Give me just 1 minute, okay?
All right, well, I'll come back to you, honey. Go do what you got to do.
Okay.
And I'll mute you. Thor. Is it work? Is it all the things you got to do to make a business flow?
Myself.
Okay. Put that behind the glass. Okay.
Authority.
You can imagine out front. Okay, so put that, all of it. You can do them individually, or you can put it as one. Okay. Now, Angela, we're going to have to come to you in just a moment. So let me come and finish this process off. Okay. So everybody, you're going to just have in your mind's eye, you can see that all your issues in front of you. Crystal Ann, you have something in front of you that you have and you want to work on that you can put behind the big glass?
Kinda.
All right. If you can do the kinda, if you could, if it's a person, put them there. If it is, I don't like my life, put it there. If it is, however that is, okay? So do your best, all right? So I'm gonna mute you. So what you're gonna do now is, because it's in front of you, what color cord from you goes to the thing that bothers you? It could be your loved one, it could be your cat, it could be something that's annoying. What color is the cord? Okay, so what, to make this go faster, you just type it in the chat. What color is the cord? Okay. And in April, we're going to be done in just a moment, sweetheart. Okay. Okay. And so notice the color of the cord, and notice that you are going to, with all of you, you are going to start taking, and tell me the first thing, is it feel like it's taking power from you, or do you feel like you had to give it? Or do you feel that they're putting your energy on yourself? Which way is this? It could be both, but what shows up first? I just feel like I have to. That out there is forcing me to do it. It's putting something on me. Or find your words, find your words. Okay, very good, very good. So what we're going to start with is notice that if it's leaving you, feel the rate it leaving you. Do you feel like it's slow leak, or do you feel like it's just pouring out like you got a big hole in your bucket? Okay, it's just there. Okay. However you describe it, I want you to just start to say, okay, I'm going to use your hand, use your physical hands, and say, I'm going to stop this. Okay, so whether you put a stop in the middle of that cord closest to you, or you actually see where there's a hole, where there's a leak, but you're just going to say, I'm going to stop this. And then you are going to say no, and then you're going to take your hands and you're going to pull back your life force. Your color of your life force will come through that actual cord, okay? So start pulling physically your life force from it. Now you can look up at it every now and then, but it can't harm you. And you're just going to pull your energy. You're going to pull your energy. Okay. And I'm just going to mute the camera just for a moment for Angela, just for a moment. Now, as you're pulling, how do you know when to stop? So you got to measure it. When that feeling has changed and you feel like you got it all back, and if you're not sure, then just, you can either see it like a circus scarf, or you can start to notice that you yank real hard and all of a sudden you took the roots. No, that's mine. That's mine. That's mine. I'm done. That's mine. You don't get it anymore. So you're taking permission, you're stopping the flow. And if you feel like it's taken from you, then you take whatever they have on you and you start pulling it off. Say, no, 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 no. And you pull it the other way. Say, I'm not doing this. You take your shit. I'm not doing this. And you're going to put it, you don't have to get back to the person. You can actually drop it into what's called a spiritual treasure chest. You know what a treasure chest is, but it's a spiritual one, which means it's going to transform those negative emotions and feelings and things like this. So take it off. Feel how your brain is saying, oh, it looks like you're making me do this. Oh, you're blaming me, or I'm blaming you. Oh, feel the judgment. Just take it off, take it off. And if it feels like it's stealing from you, say, no, you can't do that anymore. However it is, you're going to just keep doing this. Okay. You'll know when the energy is complete, because it'll look like it's the color, the main color has changed. When you reassess what is the color from me to them, what color is it? And you think about it right now. Okay. When it starts to turn to clear and white, don't force it, but it'll do it on its own. See, now that just really opened up April Thor's third chakra. And second. Now, April Lynn's, it opened up your throat a little bit and your second. Now, yes, it feels more clear. Now, at this point, they're going to try to reattach your energy, this entangled cord. You're going to grab a golden white light. If you feel like it's complete, for those that feel it's complete, grab it, connect one end to your heart, and you're going to extend the other out, and you're going to ask will you accept this? And if it says no, fine, just leave it there. But if they say yes, say thank you. And when they try to steal, they can't steal from you. You'll know when they're doing it. You're going to go, yeah, no, I felt that. No. Okay. That's when you start sucking up through your feet. When the outside tries to take, you're going to suck up through your feet. And as you begin to suck up through your feet and you get it up to your spine and you're going to start clearing out the mental thoughts, meaning you're not going to sow and reap that. You are not going to play the karmic game. You're not going to do that scalar field, the energies of where both of your orbs have crossed, and you have to show up that way to them. No, that literally gets to change. So every moment, if you start to feel like they're doing it, or you're in the middle of it, no, you cord switch right then and there. And if you feel like they're trying to connect to you and anywhere else, you can begin to hold your left wrist, first position deep, L1D, and start working on your heart about how you have to show up that way to them. And you're like, no, I'm not doing it. Okay, so you have that second tool for backup. Hopefully that makes sense to you. And at the same time, you got to retrain your brain and your body to say no. You're not doing it. You don't have to show. You don't have to have them steal it. You don't have to have none of this. Now, if you allowed that flow and you got that golden white light cord, then you're going to take and move your finger in your belly button and your forehead. And you're going to connect in and lift up. And now you're going to feel this energy come down, and then you're going to start sucking with the bottom of your feet, and you're going to feel this figure 8 of the double helix coming up and down your spine. And then you may start getting your giggle on. Now, you have flow. I want you to feel the difference between restriction and flow. That's your job. The more you feel like you can flow, you don't have to go there. So we're going to go to Miss April Sunshine. And we're going to ask you to tell me, did that feel any difference when you started to do that? Did you feel more flow? Did you feel like that they're not taking your power away?
When I was pulling my rope back, I was getting like tingles in my body and my arms. Like I was really feeling the energy coming back to me.
Good.
So it's like, I feel like I wasted my own energy or misplaced my own energy by putting it over here. Oh my gosh, these people aren't paying attention to me. They're not supporting me. But
Good.
it's my own, because they did in the best way that they knew how.
Very good. Very good. Now, part of you should start to feel more rested, not as energy drained. And you would, so remember, if at any point, cord switch, throwing a word off, or your little's going, oh, they didn't show me. Cord switch. Okay. But get that sucking going, get that flow going, because you'll start to notice that your body will start to feel more alive. That's what I want you to eventually do.
Yes.
Do you think that this was worth doing?
Yes.
Okay, and I could see you doing this, especially practice at night so you can go to sleep. It's supposed to help you to fall asleep, not to energize you to the point where you stay awake. So you go rest. I know you got to go, and I love you, and thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
I know I will give you,
You can do my chat. I'll listen to it tomorrow.
I was just going to say that. I'm just going to do that. Okay, you go to bed.
Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night,
All right, bye.
April.
So let's talk to Miss Crystal Allen real quick. Did you feel anything at all by doing that cord switching?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay. Now, do you feel like you're much more confident and stronger that you got your power back?
Yeah.
All right. Please remember that. So anytime that there's anything or anybody or whatever, I want you to cord switch. I want you to start sucking up the energy, especially if they're in this space. They're going to suck the life and energy out of the room. You got a secret weapon. Start sucking it from Mother Earth, from the quantum field, and you'll start to get that power within you while everybody else is doing their thing, but they won't get this because that's yours. Okay. And then you just cord switch, and then your attitude and everything will change and confidence will return. Thank you so much, Crystal Allen, and we will
You're
talk to you later. Okay, babe?
Bye.
Bye. All right, so now we're gonna go over to to Miss Thor, and I'm not sure how well this did or did not do with her. We'll see.
So it was, you know, when I thought of that cord, it was a red cord. And then when I started pulling from them, pulled back, it was actually a clear cord. And so then I reversed it and I started taking it out, and I still think it's there. And I mean, it's not as big, I don't think, but I still feel that it's there.
Right. So that just tells me that we have level of consciousness to change. You have trusted and known for so long, and that means we will do other things. Okay. We'll do other things. I wanted to see how this is. So if you could practice sucking up, and it's, you know, then we can do that. We can do this now. And we're going to talk to Ayme in just a second. So Miss Thor, has any of this helped at all?
Well, I saw the cord and I was able to get that shit out of me, most of it. That was a good
Has
thing.
it shifted your mood? Has it shifted your mental? Has it shifted the
I don't think so.
Now I'm going to tell you something. The body is addicted to identifying that is familiar as your life-preserving way, so that life doesn't kill you. You have that life's going to kill you thing.
I believe that, but
Right. And I'm looking at, it's definitely at age 33. I don't know what happened at age 33. So you have a very specific energy field that is still holding you in great parallel and self-preservation.
2004. I'll have to think about that. What happened in 2004?
Okay. But it's the way that your relationship with others are. Okay. And this is why you have requested that I help. And this is what we're going to do. The first thing is that you may not think it's working, but I want you to suck the energy up, get it practiced, so your brain can do this. We got to get you to stop being so over-identified in stress mode and dominancy of being mental. We have to want it to shift that energy to be balanced with the rest of the four bodies. Okay. And right now it's a safety zone until we can understand more of what's going on. But it has helped. It's just that you're almost afraid that if I'm too happy, somebody's going to come and sideswipe me. Something's going to sideswipe me. I have to be mental. I have to be on guard. Again, it's self-preservation that we have to look at. So I'm going to ask you to, I want you to go down to your right gallbladder, follow the big toe. Okay. And, or not big toe, follow your pinky toe, sorry. Go to the right, go to the gallbladder, and I want you to use your magnet there. So this is very much frozen because it's, you're galled by how people is, you're galled by how life is, galled by how God used to do things. You have some old programs in there, and we're going to get that magnet and then rub that open.
And you know what? It was funny as I do that every morning, and then I did it again this afternoon before you, probably about time show, I guess. I don't know. And I'm doing it now, and I mean, it's still sore, and I keep doing it. It keeps going back.
Self-preservation means that one of your major needs in Maslow's hierarchy of needs is not, you don't have it. Okay, we got to investigate what that is. All right, we'll do that some other time. Right now, I wanted to see if this would work, because it worked on somebody that I knew that had extreme, but they have done a lot of other work too. So I'm just trying to assess where you are. Okay. So we know we want to shift the brain. Now, until we can really investigate, what I need you to do is just keep asking yourself, do I want this or do I want better? Do I want this or do I want better? Just let that be the question to the universe. And see if you're open to see it. Because again, it's what is familiar, how I identify myself.
I so want better. I do.
Mhm. But we have to identify more and more of what actually stops you. Like, where is it you judge? Oh, I have to work on YouTube. Or I have to do all this work. I have to do, it's something to do with work, something to do with, I got to control and protect. And then I got all these dreams I want happening and it burns me out. It's a lot of mental stuff that I see.
Yeah, it's it all comes back to, I was surprised when I did that meditation the other day that it came back on me. It always comes back on me. I'm not,
You
I
just
can't
told
do it.
yourself that you can't do it. Well, your safeguard is if you do it, you're going to get in trouble. If you do it, there's going to be pain. There's a price to pay. It's about restrictions. So we have to dig deeper. And
I
you've got
just,
to get up on triple mode, triple warmer mode. That's for sure.
my thinking is if I do it, that's going to be my whole life, is taking care of animals, cleaning my house, feeding everybody. And that's it. That's all my life's going to be.
And you hate that?
Yeah, I hate cleaning the house. I
Very
would
good, very
rather,
good. What I want you to do is start doing R3S to all the things that you don't like. It's all the things that like your body requires. Take a shit, feed it, dance, move, exercise, communicate, connection. But we have trained ourselves to hate the little things. Okay? For whatever reason, we got to dig in and find out why. But at this point, your alarm system won't allow you to see anything other than what you keep sowing, which is all of the negative things you don't want. And we got to get that switched. But
Yeah.
there's underlining. Okay, I got to go and I'm going to let you go and we will talk to you later. And I'm hoping that more and more will work with you. Okay. And we'll get there. We'll get there. All right. Love you, honey. All right. Your voice is important. Bye. Okay. Miss Ayme, I know you're going to be coming on in a little bit and you gave us 3 piffs. This is going to be a totally different show. I already know this. So you can decide if you want to, I'm going to work with Angela real quick and then we can just jump in with you if you just want to stay on or come back. It's up to you, but let's just answer the question. Did the cord cutting help at all?
It did.
How do you know you?
The cord started out, I cord switched with 2 people, and the cord with the one person was black and the other one started out as orange. And I could feel them stealing my life force. They were stealing, they were taking from me. And as I was pulling my life force back, and then I started taking out all of the crap that they had done to me, at one point there was a little that wanted to hang on.
Ooh,
Didn't
good,
want to
good,
let
bad.
go. Didn't want to let
Did
go. And I'm like,
Did you ask why?
I did. And because comfortability.
Comfortability. Oh my God. Isn't it amazing
It is.
that it is? But it's nothing to be ashamed about. It's what we do. It's something we have to see. It's normal. It's there, but we get to become more in charge if we allow ourselves. Okay.
And when I offered the golden white light to the one with the black cord to begin with, they took it begrudgingly, but they took it. And the other one took it, said absolutely.
Good. That means you have less karma with the other one.
Mhm.
Okay. A little bit more karma because you have a lot of things that you're still working out and they're still going to raise their hand to work with that. So the more that we begin to heal those layers, the more all of a sudden that will just start taking care of itself. Well, good job. And we will have you back soon. So you decide how you want to leave the space. And remember, your voice is important. And I'm glad that you're learning the MWS glossary along with knowing how you know, you know. That's sounds like a name of a show. All right. We'll talk to you in a bit. Okay. So we're gonna bring in Miss Angela Stokes if she's still here. I love the fact that Rob says she loves this. Remember, everybody to hit the like and the love and to follow if you can. Thumbs up even after the show, not just in the show, but on the show. That'd be good too. All right, Miss Angela Stokes, you've been kind of watching what we've been doing. You didn't probably get to see it all,
No.
but okay. Spirit says we're still going to work with this energy field, and what this is I'm looking at the energy, and this part of the brain needs to have energy flow. Now, there's many different ways that I have approached this before, but I want you to imagine that you have feet, right? I want you to imagine that that spot right there. Okay, so put your eyeballs down there and think about it. Don't really look at it. Just kind of imagine what the bottom of that feels like. Okay. All right. Now that means you're bringing your awareness and your attention into the area. What I want you to do is take your left foot, physically take your hand or a magnet and start to go over that point. Okay. She's got her magnet. She's going to do that. And then she's going to do the right foot. So left and right. She's going to do both. Okay. And then when she's done with that, you can rub it if you want. You don't have to. But this is a wonderful acupuncture point. It's K1. It's part of life force. It's well springs of life, the bubbling springs. And it is like the first thing that energy we take in when we start to develop with working with energies and meridians. So all right, so now what you're also going to do is I'm going to check it. That's much better. What I want you to do is I want you to just imagine that this is like a straw. You're going to suck the energy up from Mother Earth, like a vacuum cleaner. Imagine your feet are like little vacuum cleaners. Suck the energy of love, peace, and harmony. And none of the other crap can come in. This is only a love vacuuming, love tube, love, just suck it up. And as you do that, I want you to imagine it's going up your legs and into the back of your butt area and right where the top of your butt crack, the bottom of your spine. Just kind of imagine the energy's pooling up there. It's filling up there. And then all of a sudden you're going to start noticing it's going to snake up your spine. It's going to start wiggling up your spine. And then all of a sudden it's going to either go fast or slow, but it's going to go up the spine. And as it starts going up the spine, notice that it's like getting stuck at the bra strap. That's okay. That's okay. It's going to just start shaking it loose, And then all of a sudden you're going to start feeling it, how it's created a new wave up the spine, going up the neck and into the brain. And it starts to connect with all three of the meninges, the dura, the pia, the arachnoid. Can't remember how to pronounce it, but just imagine that it's just getting bathed. Come to the front lobe, just bathing it, and it feels like a nice, good soak in a tub and just feels really, really good. And I want you to just allow yourself to feel that and then open your eyes. It's still flowing. It's going to still flow. Before you got on and you were getting frustrated and things weren't working, you couldn't get in. I just wanted to know your mood. Did you feel like your mood was good or negative? On a scale from 0 to 10, 10 being a positive mood. 10 was is it 1, 2, 3 and you couldn't get to 10, or where were you?
I was 20. I was 20 plus.
Oh, you're happy or really negative?
No, I was negative. I was a basket case.
All right, so
Yeah.
she was definitely in a negative. She was totally a basket case and completely a negative. The swing was all over the place. Her happiness was gone. And that's all we need to know. Now, if she's still pulling this in, I want you to notice, what is the first thing you notice about your body?
Relaxed.
Oh, wonderful. And what about your forehead? Do you feel like you're really mental, or do you feel that you're like, eh? Is the thoughts coming up?
Just clear. Just not really nothing there.
So we knew that there was 20 plus. What number is this now? Is it negatively there at all?
No particular thing. I'm just.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Now, what I want you to do is notice all you did was breathe and open up that energy at the bottom of your foot. You may have to use a magnet from time to time, but you're just going to start sucking love from Mother Earth. Mother Earth is like, I got all this abundance. Who wants it? You're going to go, I do, I do. And then you're going to imagine it going up into the body. Now, you may want to watch a show that I've done a little earlier, because you're going to start working with, like, lay on your stomach to really get it, and just kind of imagine that your body's like a wave, and you'll do it with your breathing, and you're going to get into it. But just imagine how the energy is bathing the brain. You just took a matter of a couple minutes feeling like a 20 plus of hell. And now what number is 0, 1, 2? What do you got?
I feel like about a 1 or 2.
Good. Notice that the restriction, did anybody stress you? What caused that?
Just,
Life.
yeah. Just
Okay.
just waking up, just the everyday bullshit.
Okay,
Just
very
everyday-
good. Now you're going to imagine this everyday bullshit is behind a glass. Okay, not too far away, not too close, but it's in front of you, but can't touch you. And now you're going to notice that it's not even a cord from you. Notice it's a cord from it. That cord is coming to you. What color is it?
Red.
And do you feel like it's being pushed on you? Do you think it's sucking at you? Do you think it's stealing? What do you know about this energy?
Sucking. It's pulling.
Okay, so now you're going to say stop. And you're going to see this cord to you. Where is it per se? Does it hooked into your body, your head? Where's it hooked into?
I feel like it's like
Right there in front.
just it's
okay.
got it hooked in.
Good, good. Notice that because you're saying no, immediately it's like you hit the button. No, and then the hooks go poof, they have to pop out. Now it's still there. Now you're going to imagine you have your control panel in front of you, and you are going to dial that down to where it's the little disappears. It's like you trimmed its fingernails, and you're going to notice that you changed its shape to small, almost to a tip of a pin. Does that feel good, bad, or indifferent?
Different.
Good. Okay, good, good, good. And then all of a sudden you're just going to push that energy back because it can't suck off of you anymore. And you're like, you know what? You took something from me. What color did they take? And I want you to just grab and say, that's mine, and start pulling your life force to you. It's mine. I'm taking it. Take back your life force. What color is it?
It's like a pearlish white.
Ah, so that's interesting. Do you want it back, or do you want to keep it there?
I want it back.
Okay, then you start sucking it back. Now you may have to go to clear to notice when you get it all back. Now, where are you putting it the most in the body? In the body, around the body? Where? There. Okay. Just put it back. Put it back. Feel how the heart is feeling healthier. It's stronger. It's mended. Don't have a Band-Aid anymore. Notice that as you suck that energy back, as well as sucking Mother Earth, all of a sudden there's a healing, and it's become seamless. You couldn't even tell anything was there.
Yeah, my heart and head. It's definitely my mind. Yeah.
Okay, so notice that you are now coming in your mind instead of being so mindful. There's not much in the mind because now you're having mind peace. Your mind is full of peace, but notice that you're moving the mind and the heart, and you can allow peace. So as you're allowing this, the energy cord between you and life, is there any color left? Has anything changed? What color is still there? Anything left, or is it all gone?
It's a lighter light.
Still has color?
It's light.
Okay. And I'm going to just, I'm going to ask Spirit, is there anything else that she needs to pull? And they said yes. In this case, does life tell you that you're deficient? Because I hear words. I hear that it's talking to you.
It tells me that I'm useless.
Okay.
I can't do anything right.
All right, let's
useless.
take those two things. And you're going to look at life and say, you don't get to talk to me that way. To produce deficiency when this body and this soul and this spirit is full. It's everything. So I'm done with those words. Now, do you have to pull them out? Do you need to cover one ear and hear it scream at you and measure it? How about doing that? Cover one ear. And as you listen throughout that ear that has no cover, do you hear life yelling at you in those words? No, that's good. Remove, transcend, let go. Now cover the other ear. Listen with that ear that's open. Do you hear those words from life? No, remove, transcend, let go. Let's look at, do you see pictures? How do you hear? It's not words. Are they pictures? Well, how do you know any of that's true? Why do you have to believe something that's not true?
This is true.
It's other people. Stop borrowing it. It's other people's story. It's their soap opera. It's not yours. Say done.
And I should, yeah, it's their story. I should, yeah, their dream. I should know that from my cards.
Your son told you.
Yeah.
All right. So you're like, why am I? So you're gonna. What's happening is you keep reaching into the vending machine, pushing the same thing, saying this is life, and you're saying, no, that's your story. I don't have to believe that. Okay, so you're going to keep sucking up the life force. Now, that's why the color showed up the way it was, because she kept borrowing, believing it was true, even though she's done a lot of the work of healing with success hope therapy and source point. But now she's at that stage of, wait a minute, it's this simple. When I drop a fork, do I do automatic response and go, oh my God, I dropped a fork. Or can I catch it up and go, wait, why did I just waste all that life force? It's just a fork. I don't care if I have to rewash it. Hell, I like germs. Lick, whatever. I don't care. Or it's a 1 and a 2. I'm going to use it as exercise. But you're changing the definition of what the automatic response should be. You're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you get there and if you listen, oh, wait a minute. I'm not hearing anything. I'm not even seeing anything. Well, wait a minute. I believe my own BS.
Right.
No. I'm going to change those belief systems and I'm going to get rid of the bullshit. I'm done. So now it's about her changing, choosing to show up for herself by having and learning a new definition. And if she has to cut cords with that belief system, that whatever it is, then she can. How do you feel?
I feel great. I feel relaxed. I don't feel bothered.
See, the magic was in you all along.
I don't hear negative. I don't feel anything negative. I don't hear anything.
Good. Now still start feeling your heart going bump bump. I love myself, bump bump. My son loves me, bump bump. Oh, I'm so happy. And there's your Superman kisses. Now he's saying, just imagine them being on a butterfly. Where one that did he say? Who had the theory? I'm hearing somebody told you once where the butterfly, if a butterfly flicks its wings and create a hurricane in the other side of the world, one small movement can make a major difference. So sending kisses and love can start sending a wave of love. Meaning you have the magic in you all along. So anything you do can make a difference. By you coming on, determination to get here, just to find out that you didn't have an issue and it was just like, oh shit, I don't have to believe my own BS. All right, hallelujah. Let me suck up Mother Earth and be happy again. It's that easy.
Yeah.
You made a big difference.
Yeah, my roommate, he's been telling me that I need to get out of this room, that it's really consuming me, isolating myself. And so DJ's daughter, I had to leave this weekend, and so that was nice. But so I was outside, I had a little bit of company. It felt good to be outside today a little bit.
Yes, we have to learn to get out of being introverts and more into the balance. You don't have to be an extrovert, just be in a balance. We're born to connect. And you have to get out of the house every now and then, even if it's just to walk in nature. You may
Right.
end up walking and talking to a bird or a person, but that will be the connection you need.
Yeah.
I love you, dear. And
Love
I'm
you
glad
too.
you feel better. Good job.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, we will talk to you later, baby. And your voice is important. And stop believing that old crap. That's all I got to say is don't believe that old crap. All
Will
right.
do.
All right.
Will
We'll
do.
talk to you later,
Thank
babe.
you. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
And so it can be that easy, and it can, so it can be very frustrating. Now, there's still hope for Thor. There's still hope. And that's a good thing. Now I'm going to look. I believe we have just April Lynn I'm going to do the readings. We have the 3 pips that we still can do. And then we have Miss Ayme coming on to work on something. So here we go. This is what, Monday? Excellent. It is a holiday over here. It's the horse race holiday. It's interesting. They don't have as many holidays as America because there's just different types of experiences in the world. And I've lost my black pen. Oh, that's just dandy-o. There it is. So we know that who is left? Who is here? Is Morgan still here? Who's here? Who still would like to get one of those 3 pips? If you have never heard me before, or if you've never had a reading from me before, this is where you get a chance to get a free reading. And if you had a reading before, your name can get in the drawing. So what do we have? What do we have? Wow, talk about a leg on, that must be really, there we go. That was bizarre. Okay. I'm going to do April Lynn's. I'm glad you love the exercise. Keep working and doing it because you are worth it. You are worth it. Morgan, you're still here. Anybody else? I'm going to give Morgan, you got a question? I'm just going to give you one. And anybody else that wants, because you got 2 pips for today. 2 pips. Whew, I feel like it just jacked up higher. It's 98. Yeah. I can totally feel it. If you're Piff, what kind of question do you have? Or did you just want me to choose spirit for you, Miss Morgan? And I'm proud of your dedication, Morgan. I really am. Thank you for the love, Angela. Okay, so I'm just going to wait a few more minutes and then I never know about the leg here, so that's the thing. What am I waiting for? I'm sweating. If I lift this, I might get some more airflow. Oh, good God, yes. I'm not doing any more of that teaching up there. So I'm going to open these up to get some airflow. Yes. You guys hot, aren't you? My little buggies. You got hot little buggies, aren't you? Ooh. Oh, what a major difference right there. I feel like I should ask about my creation again. Let's see here. I think it's hidden away somewhere because I want to create things, but I never know what I should make. All right, it's connecting with that heart. Have you been watching about how people have been sucking up through their feet? And cord switching and all of those, that could be very beneficial. You are developing words and you are developing what it feels like to communicate, and you need to use the emotionary. When you got excited, that was a word that described, which made you connect with that picture. When you are going to be creative and you feel that you want to be creative, you might just want to start to doodle. you take your right, because you're going to start using more of that right part of your brain. And what happens is that you have to activate that right part. And so sometimes doing just figure eights, doodling. And I want to be creative in asking that question, I'm creative, asking that question. When you begin to ask that question, you then are going to learn to listen and open up your mind. You're not wanting to just think, well, I got to do something. So you're doodling. I want to create something. So it's not looking at it. I want to create something. Do you want to create something with your fingers, your hands? Do you want to go out and move in the garden? Do you want to draw? Do you want to take a walk? What do you want to create? In my mind, I still want to be able to sit taller and sit back. So I want to build something that can hang from the ceiling or have a hat or over the shoulder, something where I can put my phone up here so I don't have to bend my neck. And I'm sure somebody has already invented it, but you know, you're motivated. It motivates you. When you have a need, like when I'm doing this, I have a need to do this. I need a place to put my paper. So I found a cabinet and put it over here. So now it holds my thing. I need to be able to get access. What do I need? What would make it more convenient? And all of a sudden I have phones and a laptop and that I have so that it helps. Okay. I do know how to draw and I know the artists in my family, but I haven't drawn in forever. Well, just doodle, make figure eights. It's the activating of your, just doodling and asking the questions. Now you can even use your left hand if you're right-handed, get out of the dominancy aspect and deliberately to activate your left hand so that your right brain starts to become more activated. But it's asking the question, what need do I have to fulfill? What needs do I have? Being creative is filling a need. It is what you value. It's what's important to you. So if you want to be creative, I feel like I do something, but what do I need? What could I start with? It's like when you go into a room and you got to clean it. What would be the easiest thing to pick up? The trash. So then you zero in on matching. Trash here, trash there, trash, done. And you'll notice, oh, that's working. Putting clothes away. All of a sudden, anything that looks like clothes. So it's learning how your brain and you start to communicate and operate. Okay, just so you understand. Now, I asked if there's anything else that would stop you from being creative. And they said it's the mental process. And I said, are you too much in your head? And they go, it has a lot to do with feeling that I'm deficient. Now it's connected to when I want to do something, I constantly am getting disapproval in the past, from the past. Let's say I want to buy something. No, you can't. Okay, well, let's say I want to rearrange my room. No, you can't. Well, what if I want to wear this outfit? Oh, God, no, disapproval. There's a lot of limitations, I feel like, that came in your world based on other people saying no. No. When I see this as a challenge, I don't have any money or I can't get help, like moving things or building something, I find a way to do it myself. And I'll say, well, what can I use? So when I'm fixing up the bird cage or I'm fixing up something, I don't need to go out and buy it. What can I use? What can I use? And then I find different material and oh, that won't work. Oh, but this one does. So you have to begin to learn you. And when you learn that, so I go in that space, just like what I did with my office. So in my office, something's got to change. Something's got to change. Okay, what's the thing that I don't like that needs to change? I need something to change. Oh, it's that one corner. Okay, so now I'm working on myself more physically with energy work. So I need to put my massage table up, but there's no place to put it. Everything's full. No, I don't think that way. Where could I put it? So I sat in my space and I expanded the room. In my mind, I expanded it. I says, thank you, Spirit. I expanded. And am I expanding them? I started noticing that doesn't need to be there. It's not about, oh, I don't want to. That's not it. It is what needs to change, what needs to change. So, oh, if I take that down and I put that there, where would I put that? Oh, spirit cells, I could put it over here. And cleverly, I was able to put some other stuff, some other places. But when I rearranged everything, it all works. So I live in vision reality. So as I start to do vision reality, MWS, Medicine Women Solutions, vision reality is a part of expansion, filling the need, changing the energy. I now, you can't even see where I put the bookcase. You can't even tell where I had all that other stuff. And everything started to rearrange itself. So that is part of what creation is. So it is, what is it you want to create? If you want to create space, you want to create time, you want to create self-awareness. What is it you want to create? Is it literally sitting down and doing art? But what usually falls down is, what is the need? Because if you don't have the need to do it, you won't have the ambition or the motivation to do it. So getting to understand yourself. Okay, Morgan? So what I would tell you is that you're used to, in the past, getting approval, acceptance, a yes. And it's like, I can't really do things unless I get, so you have to unlearn to some degree about whether, if you're going to do something, as you get older, you're going to have to give yourself permission to do it. I said, what do you want her to start beginning to change? And they're saying, Okay, so you're developing how to be more sure of yourself, more confidence of yourself. And until then, it is the phrase comes up, I can't do it because someone needs me. I can't do this because I have to do this. I can't do this unless I get permission. I can't do this. Pay attention to the words I've just said. I can't, because this is part of why I want my own place. Exactly. You have too many things going on. You know exactly. So it's about this approval. It's about this. You got too many things to this. I said, where do you want her to begin? Well, it's about territory. It's about, I want my own place. I can't get my own place. I don't know how to get my own place. People don't want me to get my own place. There's all these disapproval. There's all of these things. And there's all these fears and worries. Right wrist, first position, soft. Okay, Morgan. Just start looking at why I can't get my place. Who and what goes on with the territory. Okay. Okay. As I'm looking, 3 years already? Wow. And notice how much he has helped you in that 3 years, Angela, to grow and to become more love. I think he's doing such a great job. And so are you. Okay. All right. I'm going to just go over to Miss April Lynn, and we will go from there. You're welcome, Morgan. So interesting enough, the first thing I hear is part of being me, the part of being me, and this love that loves being part of me. It's just that I feel like I have to do and fix and be, and I have to make money, I have to work, and in the dread and life is getting to you. And it feels like life is bullying you. It's like it's bullying. It is definitely feeling like it's saying, you have to work, you have to do this. And so you feel a force outside of yourself that says you have to do this. I feel like, not just that, your own worst enemy thing. This is, you're part of a bigger picture, maybe with your husband or maybe with society, but you have to do this certain things. Because what they're pointing out here is that the part of you is just, life has kind of lose its meaning when you start to work so hard. And if you slow down, then you're going to get scorned. And it's just like, how the pimp and the hoe, the what do you call that? The ghetto physics. It is somebody else puts this idea in your head and you have to live it out and you have to work for your dream or you have to, and part of you is like going, oh my God, I'm just exhausted living this way. What spirit wants you to notice is notice that the body is saying that I'm so tired of taking the blame. So you must be communicating with people that somehow is blaming you for them feeling. Do you have somebody in your life that is like inconvenienced? Or why do you like why are they questioning what you do and how you are? And you're like, oh my God, okay, so you're just like tired of this and you have to correct yourself because again, I feel in life force stop. I feel that the correction. I feel that you can't behave is like you want. It's like you have to make sure you are working as a team on something. I don't know exactly where this is going, but I can tell you there's a hidden story that you haven't quite seen. And part of that reality has a lot to do with an emotionally repressing that there's a bitterness. Is that you feel like you're a disappointment and that they're angry with you. I don't, if you can't see it, I don't know how you're going to look at it, but okay, just kind of look around and inside of you, what you need to begin to heal is R2D because your peace is gone. So right wrist, second position D, the peace is gone, but it's how other people bring their energy to the space, their way of thinking, their energy field is there. And because that's there, it is their reality. And you have to change yourself to fit their reality. You have to do things to fit their reality. And again, this is where you feel like your peace is gone. It's like, I have to work at this work. I have to do this particular job, even if I don't like it. So like part of it is I have to keep this job because I won't get insurance. Okay. Or I have to do this job because I don't have enough money from that job to get all of it. And it's just like, it's all I do is work. So this is where the bitterness could come in. This is where L2S could come in. But it also feels like you have to take the brunt and the blame for it all. And this is where then you need to do L1S. Because I feel like people have conversations with you and they use certain conversations about right and wrong, right and wrong. And they convince you that this is the right thing to do. That's the wrong thing to do. And I'm going to, do you have anybody in your space that gets depressed? And so they can't really think greater than, or like you, they can't think that way. And this person don't know how to really live anything other than that. There's always this punishment. There's always the wrong answer. There's always worry. And they, who? Oh, I don't know. There's somebody that will say to you when they go in their left brain and start having fear, oh my God, if we keep doing like this, we're never going to live. You know, if we can't do this, we're going to give, it's almost 100 here. But there's just this awkward feeling that you're not doing enough. And it's like it's like you got to prove to them so they'll calm down. No, you got to prove to them so they'll shut up. So this is another form of like your mother. Okay. They want you to begin to work on the heart on this because the only way you could cope with everything was to alter yourself, to appease your mother, appease your family. And that's kind of still left over in whatever you're doing right now. So they're saying it's time that you can start pulling that out of your heart, L1D. Okay. L1D. You got lots of triggers that so you haven't started to wake up. Okay, there's a part of you that okay, it's emotionally repressed. It's got to come up. There'll be times that they'll pull you into their field, and all of a sudden you'll start to distrust. And even though that's not who you want to be, but you'll start feeling this distrust. That creates that restriction of the life flow that I was talking about in feet. and you will go in and have that kind of same match and mirroring language. They want you to start pulling it out, you know, again, it's still L1D. Okay. Hi, Nikki. Hi. Let me see what you sent. Let's see. Oh, a chat. Wonderful, wonderful. Anybody, my bright screen, whatever spirit wants. Okay. Okay. It's interesting. They have just jumped right over to the skeleton. They just gave me the word skeleton. And the next word is that there is you and indifference. And the physical box. You're talking about her physical skeleton. Okay, yes. Are we talking about the way it sits and adjusts? Bone marrow stuff inside? Holding a physical traumas? What are you talking about? And a skeleton. The skeleton is not about things hidden in your closet. It's like okay, what kind of structure? There's a physical structure, that's the word they want, the physical structure that is about I have to be stable, I have to have this physical structure. Having this might be the perfectionism. Do you still do perfectionism? Is there still like step A, B, C, D, and E? And because what they said is that the serenity and your for space, your serenity and freedom, the serenity and freedom, these two, there is the way that your structural, physical structural of it is that there's a certain amount of having to obsess. So this about this perfectionism. So there's about obsession. You've created some self-imposed limitation about checks and balances. So when you're doing perfectionism, and I think you're being resetting of what this looks like, my thinking is this. Okay, if this is this, that turns out like that, and if it looks like that, then I have to do this, and it feels like that, I got to do this. And at the same time, there's something along that process before it gets to where it's perfect to let it, you know, so you can do the next thing. There is a safety blanket hidden in there somewhere because you couldn't cope with something that occurred. And so that whole perfectionism has been a tool to be like a blanket. Okay. But I'm looking in the lumbar part of your spine, and it's about the 5th lumbar where the men come in, the min. There's the magnetic flow is disrupted. So you have a magnetic deficiency there from what I can see. And it is this part of you that feels awkward and helpless. And part of your perfection at the time was so that I don't want to feel these things. So you used it as a part of your truth. Okay, not too much perfection. I'll keep awareness open. Okay, so let's see if we can keep digging. There's a piece there. It's a piece. It's a piece. So if you go back to look at how you did it, maybe that piece will pop up. Okay. Or maybe you look at how other people do perfectionism and say, and then wait, ask spirit, make that piece that I need to see pop up. Okay. Because what I've got was, it's like, it's like the part of the perfectionism is that you always had to do it so that you wouldn't have to feel awkward or incompatible. Okay, so this, oh, here we go. So around 14, close to the 15. So when you talk about middle school, junior high years, it is the transformation of how you think from a child and think from that point of view that created a restriction and now it needs to open up further. So the best way that I explain this to people would be, I was 13. I'm unconscious and incompetent of things, but I feel very confident and very conscious of what I was choosing to say, having conversations with adult women at a table. And I didn't know the art of conversation or the idea of communicating and connecting. I didn't know about any of that. So when I finally came on turn to answer, and I waited to jump in to give my answer, and I gave it so complete that it should be done talking about. So that point of view of my level of consciousness at 13. And then when they paused and said nothing, I was looking for praise and rewards. I had no idea that I was doing that. I didn't get any of it. So I felt hurt. So I put up a wall. I couldn't understand why then the next breath, they're still talking about the subject. But as I look back at it, they were talking about a point that I had made, and they were just having a conversation. They were sitting there to have tea together, and so they went back into their lives where they didn't like. This was their moment. I had no idea or conception of what that meant at 13. I held that grudge and everything for years until I realized, oh shit, I didn't learn that skill or understand the reasoning of it until I got older. So there's something there that your 13-year-old or 15-year-old is still doing, that it's ready to pull in the new perception to help you greater understand why people act the way they act. So as I'm looking at this, the serenity in space have something to do with being how you had to center yourself with certain people. Like you had to come across as a bitch and meanness to certain people. And yet you identify as that, what'd you say? You're identifying with what? That I'm incompatible. And I think there's a belief system somebody taught you in their belief that you can't let anybody get one over on you, or you got to always stand as alpha, or you got to, there's something to do with that makeup. Again, a lot of location, a lot of culture that still sits there, even though you're breaking these patterns, you are So you put up a video a while back, and it was very good. It was talking about the energies in the 80s and the waves of how people coming in. So you're getting ready to take a leap further into being part of that third wave. And so that's why they want you to understand that when you start to stand in the benevolency or in the Sigma style way, then you don't have these roots that have to pop up. So they said when the body is going through that process, there is that you were told not to have any empathy for people. And the body then had fear that if you showed empathy for people, that meant what? I think that's the key phrase. That meant what? Because they're telling me, have you do L1D, because this is part of a real old quota identity. And I think it's borrowed from your youth. And I think some people still use that identity today. So I know you're wanting to move into being a benevolent leader, more of a Sigma person, balanced, living in that live it, breathe it, walk and talk it, dream it field of that essence, that balance essence. Does any of this make sense? They're a long way of putting it, but I get what they're talking about, because you have to create a new identity, and you're doing it without really any effort, but there is now a focus. Am I going out of sync with what my actions are? Am I, so you're looking from that point of view, okay? You love my show and you need headphones to listen. Is it because your environment's too loud or am I not loud enough? Oh, good, it makes sense. All right, so yeah, you're stepping up, Miss Leader. Sounds good to me. Cheri, did you want to, you're here. Did you want to piff? Because you won one last time, then you were gone. And I think you did that twice in a row. So do you want to piff? I'm just asking so that because I've got 2 left and I can give you one. Today was definitely a different type of day. You guys like that soul group healing? Because it's a soul group coaching. And again, I'm gonna have to start advertising this group is more or less about free classes. That's what this feels like. It feels like free classes. Well, Angela, I already gave you all that free. Can you look at that as if your PIF? I mean, I paid for it. But I just give you a bunch of stuff free. Yes, you did like it. Very good. Cheri, are you still here? Did you not make, you know? Oh, no, that's okay. We're on the same page. On the same. Okay. Did you want a reading, Cheri? Yeah, a lot of us have done a lot of healing. You are now moving more into how to define what it is and how you want to be. It has nothing to do with restriction. It's all about flow. So you're getting there. I can totally see it, Nicole. Cheri, yeah, Cheri. All right, so Cheri. They're showing me a regret. And there's like whatever it is there's a certain amount of fear that makes you regret. And that fear has compromised your freedom, your space. And what I heard is that there's a part of you that can't help but to obsess with your 41 thoughts per minute. And it's about a lie that, like, let's say somebody was very depressed, and so they said 100%, you know what I'm talking about. Well, it's a lie. Somewhere somebody spoke, said it with great passion because of whatever freaking mood they're in, but it's not really true. But you took it to your heart, and your heart was like, ouch, from what I can feel. If you know what I'm talking about, and if not, stick with that 100% and go that route. But either way, it leads to how the heart is saying vulnerability. That's what your heart is saying. In the brain of the heart wants to transform this. So we're going to use the innate wisdom. And this is where I tell you to go left wrist, first position, nice and deep. I wouldn't know what that was said, but I wouldn't doubt it. Okay. A different type of lie, like, okay. You know, when people say they get drunk, they're telling the truth. Telling you a filter, they're telling you in that level of hertz with low vibration, but it's not true. It's how they can't be anything other than the pain or the filters of their past, their whole life. Okay. And so when people have told you something that really gets and irritates them, and then they say it, somehow you gave them the authority and that what they said was valuable, and therefore it become the truth, which is bullshit. I've had many people that have been depressed who tell me things, and then when they're not depressed, I don't remember saying that, or they're like, that's not true, because they weren't their whole self. We take that, our heart's fucking crushed, and we go and change ourselves so we don't have to hear this again. And we sit there and we obsess about what they said, and it is actually what is called the lie. But it will form and change your world in a very unhealthy way. I want you, since you know what I'm talking about, to grab also R3S. It is that shock when they first say it, and you're like, what? Okay, measure it. Every time it comes up, just start doing the R3S and then go to the heart. Anytime you feel vulnerable, I would do those combinations. R3S, then the heart, R1D. Okay? Because your body is saying, I'm done. I'm going to take my power off. Now, how you're going to know is your 41 thoughts that are obsessing will calm down. those emotions will calm down. It'll be this or better. And when you get better, do you want that back? No. Keep sticking to healing and you'll start to change your world. Okay, Cheri? Okay. Hi, Theresa. Do you want the last fifth, babe? Want the last fifth? And then we'll bring Ayme in. You are welcome, Cheri. When you start healing, you're going to find out that love is yours and that you are worth it. And you're just as important as everybody else on this planet. But you will feel it because you can start having this confidence or this self-esteem that you feel like you've never had. It's always been there. It's just been covered up with all of this excess garbage. Okay. So we're just going to find out if Theresa wants that last one. I don't know what this pink stuff is, but it tastes really good. I don't know what my husband made up, but it's yummy. I know it's something healthy. And now I know what I need to work on. Yes, measure it. High number, even if it's low, you can work it up. And I'm sure you're going to go, oh yeah, that can get me going. Keep healing, and get it to 0 every time because you got layers upon layers. It's like an onion. Got to get rid of it. Oh, I think it's got some hydrolyte stuff in it. Tastes pretty good. You can vitamin C in there too. All right, Miss Theresa. Ooh, we're going right to your nerves. And the nerves, now the nerves don't repair by themselves. That means we have to start moving energy and things like this. Now the nerves is that I'm looking at when you were about 5 years old, there was a broadcast that came from your people you love, like your parents or something. And it hit you so hard, it marked your brain. And so then your body started to act with the sojourn. Okay, it's acting this way. So that means we have, if it's the nerves cannot be repaired, let's go to the brain that it can repair the nerves, the way that the neuroplasticity, the way that the body can start to do. So let's go to the brain. The brain says is that I was taught, and I believed, if you've heard from the last conversation with like I had with Cheri, is that I can't be confident. I'm not allowed to be confident. It's their opinion spitting at me when they were in the negative space, spitting at me. And how gorgeous. Thank you, Zale. Thank you. Spitting at me. And you can't, your brain is like still in great shock. Now, to help heal the brain, we need to have you go and hold left wrist, second position deep. And begin to hear the mental, this is all mental here, the mental about how to try to describe what just happened. And the emotions are dropped like a rock based on what they said as truth, which it wasn't truth. It was just whatever mood they're in. And what happens is that your heart like got really crushed. And so you're like the self-efficacy that you would have had was, and I've told this story before. So like, for instance, this kid started to make some, a horse out of clay, was so proud of it, loved how it did it, but it didn't look like the horse to anybody else. To that person, it meant the horse. And then somebody came along with their negative thinking and they're, that's not a horse. Ew. That crushed. And so self-efficacy can't be yours. Okay. So in this case, it shocked you so deeply that it marked that you felt let down in such a way that the nerves have marked it, that the people you love let you down. And then you're going to do left wrist, third position, soft, feeling let down. Because you look and they're giving love here and they're giving love here and they're giving love here, but you get, because they're in that mood, you didn't know it at the time. That's all you can see as a kid is you feel let down. That you're stuck on, I feel let down. So start with those two. Okay, last one is L3S. First one is L2D, because it's that irrational thinking that as a child, it was perfectly rational, but as an adult, it becomes irrational. And so it's like, well, they're never going to love me because I've done this. That's not true. It's true, but not true. Meaning it was true then, but it doesn't have to be true now. And it was rational then, but it's irrational now because you're growing. But the little girl's got to be stopped being so frightened and begin to heal that. Yes, all resonance. Oh, good. Go heal it, Miss TP. Very proud of you. You're ready to heal some big chunks. And let's see. Watch the beginning of the show, and because you will learn how to suck life force up through your feet, which is what I definitely want you to do. And cord cutting is what I want you to do. So watch the show after it's been put up. Okay. All right. Love you, TP. Now let's bring on Miss Ayme. And I gotta change the
Hi.
view. Hi. Okay. Long time no see. Or you say it's been a minute.
It's been a minute and a half. It's been a half a minute.
Right. No, but when you say that, it's like it's been a long time. You don't say that. I've always caught you and other people saying it's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Yeah.
And even though, does that mean that it's been really close, or you haven't seen each other in a long time?
A long time.
Ah, okay. I get confused by that. It's been a minute. So it's like okay.
It's yeah, it's what everybody says, basically.
Yeah, well, apparently I'm out of lingo of Michigan or United States. That's okay. No big deal. Okay, how can I help you?
I have what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, I had gotten a pair of leggings that I adored.
Leggings. She's talking about leggings with elephants.
Leggings. 8 years ago.
Okay.
I can wear them today.
Ah, congratulations. Congratulations. That means
I had promised myself that I would get into them, and I finally did.
Excellent. Sounds good. Cheri's cheering you on. Yay. We're good. We're good. Now, you have achieved something is at the time you bought them. Now, this is sometimes when we buy stuff, pick up stuff. Oh, someday. But I think it's because they got elephants on them. There's like, oh, I'm definitely going to get into these someday.
Yep.
So there's
Yep.
different ways.
And I have a t-shirt that I got 10 years ago that I don't know if it would fit. I could try it on. I haven't tried it on yet, but I believe it will fit also.
Excellent.
And it was when I went out to North Carolina.
Very good.
Dig
And
in.
you'll dig in. Okay. Well, first of all, let's dig in. Notice the difference here. It's got stars and sparkles.
Nice.
And then you see a hanging hope. Yes.
Yep, I saw the hanging hope.
See the elephant or the monkey.
Monkey has moved forward.
Yeah. And then there's the lizard in the corner.
And Charlie and Sky in the background.
Yeah, they're just not talking today. They love each other. That's the weird part. They don't want to be apart from each other. But today, it's like, as soon as I know they're coming on the show, I don't know.
That dream that I had the other day.
All right, do tell.
I dreamt that I got, I think it was a text, and it was like how you can see part of it before you open it. And it was a really long one, but when I went to go open it, it had disappeared. And it was from someone that I love and adore. And it disappeared. And
That was in the dream.
What?
That was in the dream?
The text disappeared. The person didn't. I didn't see the person, but it was the energy of.
Okay, so that was what's in the dream.
It was like I was looking at my phone, and it was either a text or an email. I wasn't sure which it was, and I went to read it, and it was gone.
And you said it came from somebody you love. And when you read it or began to read it, did you get love or did you get what off it?
I didn't get anything because it just disappeared.
Okay. Now notice the fact is that the love that you're used to getting just disappeared. So what I'd like to know is who in the past did you deeply love that you didn't know? Now we're going to talk about this in this way. When I first met you, oh my God, I got the bestest friend in the entire world. We have to talk so many hours in a day and we have to be there every day for each other. And oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then all of a sudden I said, where are they now? It was 6 months since you talked to them.
Disappeared.
You would have died if you didn't talk to them. You didn't even know that they had weeded
I
out
can
your.
name probably about, I can name a whole shit ton of people.
Right. Now it's nothing we have to be sad about. It's just about growth and how things get weeded in and out of our life. Okay. Angela Stokes says, congratulations. I just want you to make sure you get that love. Now, your text, you said it's from somebody I love. Now their love is still there, but the message that they normally give me disappeared. I got nothing. So how you used to love people or how people used to love you has now changed and you get nothing. And you had experience with MD. M.D. And that's changed. That's part of your dream. So do you understand that? And so what does that mean?
It means that I've grown and I've changed and I no longer have to look to the outside for that acceptance and that love.
Oh, did you? Whoa, no, whoa, woo! What does your ego need to hear? What you just said? You're cracking that thing open. Say it again so people understood you.
Okay, so the dream was telling me that I don't have to look for that love from the outside. I don't have to accept empty promises. I don't have to accept that conditioned love because I have unconditional love for me. I get unconditional love from you and from this person that was in my dream.
Oh, Robin's like, yahoo! All right, man. Yeehaw! Yes. All right. So now notice that. How much is that dream more important to you?
It makes so much sense now.
All right. So when you started, did you interpret it at all?
And
what was your interpretation before I told you what I thought?
I don't remember. I have to go look what it said.
Reason why it wasn't just because I gave her the information. She gave herself stepping stones to get that aha moment. Okay. How do we know this? Okay. So let's say you have a kid and you're telling them da 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 da, and they don't listen. Da 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 da, they won't listen. Then they go over to their friend's house and their mother says it once and they get it. They come back and they go, "Oh my God, Mom, listen to what I learned." And you're like, "What? I have been pounding that into your head," and they get the credit. Okay. But this is what she did. She set up herself because she's been working on a theme about unconditional love, deficiency, all of this. And so she's been working on it and she has created a dream. She did the dream analysis. And what did you say?
I looked it up in dream moods and a text message. To dream that you are sending or receiving a text message represents your connection to others and your network of friendship. Dream may also allude to romance. Alternately, text messages represent messages from your subconscious. So my subconscious was telling me I don't have to accept conditioned love.
Very good, very good. Now, how do you feel that what I've said and what you've said, and now everything's starting to what? Click, 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 click.
Everything is like starting to fall into place. That golden bubble is getting closer. feel it sitting here, and I'm excited for it to get here.
Right now, that's why we can say, yeah, because this is when you look at people and people say, oh, honey, I've changed. And I've done a lot of research. I've done a lot of changing. Why is this changing different than that changing?
Because this change is authentic. That change is conditional. That change is superficial. This is on a deeper soul level.
And
Where
the other one created out of a need and has restrictions.
a need and a want, yeah.
And you have already, your GPS says love, peace, freedom.
Mhm.
But that means rearranging a few things. That means changing a few things. That means learning some new definitions. That means building that bridge and communicating with your soul on such a deep level, doing soul group coaching or soul coaching that's solo, whatever it is. But all of a sudden, for you, I didn't put those words in your mouth. How did you know to use those words? It wasn't just a copy because somebody said it. I
No,
felt it in your heart.
It came from my heart. It's a download. It's download from spirit.
And did you give yourself your own aha moment?
Mhm.
How good does those feel?
They're amazing. They are absolutely amazing. Like when I was on my walk today, I walked through somebody's shitstorm.
Oh.
And I started spinning. And I'm like, that's not mine. And I started doing figure eights and I peanut buttered it and it was gone.
Excellent. And
Becoming more aware of my energy bubble versus somebody else's.
very good. And when that energy is there meeting up with in that scalar field, you don't have to obey it. You don't have to get lost. You don't have to feel like there's an outside influence. You can go, wait. Now I understand more of why you sent me that picture of actually going through a shit show.
Yes,
Okay, that makes sense.
my nephew went through. He got crapped on by a cow.
That's funny. Okay, now let's find out. One of the things is that there's old anxiety and new, and you don't even have to create anxiety. When you went for that walk, did it create the anxiety and then you knew enough to take care of it? Or what do you know when you went for that walk and you got a shit show?
It just all of a sudden I started spinning when I went by this one house and I'm like, this isn't mine. I was aware right away that it was not mine.
Okay.
But I wasn't aware fast enough to not let myself spin.
Okay, now in the past, you would have had anxiety.
It would have freaked me out. It would have, oh my God, now what? Oh my God, I have vertigo. I have Meniere's, whatever it would have been. I didn't go there. I continued on my walk.
Yeehaw! Yeah, we'll give you another one. How's that? It's more authentic. Okay, but notice that you do not have to believe lofty energy. Okay. Yes, you got a warning it was there, but you didn't have to go into fear at first. It was just there. And you turn around times like this. Good job. So as I'm looking, you're not heart crushed as much and you're not doing forlorning. And let's just so people understand, we know what a heart crush feels like. Okay, we know what a heart crush feels like. But to understand what forlorn means is important. You got to find these definitions in these worlds because you wouldn't have never known that you felt lonely, abandoned, and hopeless. You would have never used forewarned to describe those words. You would have said, I feel lonely, I feel abandoned, I feel hopeless. But knowing that it takes those three to form another word. And this tells you the depths of these three frequencies forming into a different thing. Now, the question then remains, do you need to identify you because you were an orphan? I'm an orphan. No,
I don't.
You don't have to lead with that story. Nobody ever needs to know unless you want to teach them, how did I grow? How did you grow from being an orphan?
By healing the traumas and dramas from my childhood.
So do you feel like you're an orphan?
No,
And an orphan feels like it's not love, connection, or anything. How do you know you don't feel that?
because I feel the love from my soul family, from you, from Alan, from Robin, from Joy, and all of those that actually truly love me for me, whether I F up or not.
Right. We're not asking anything of you. We're not sitting there thinking we have to change you. We don't have to do it. Now, you could argue and say, well, I had to change to be your friend. No, I'm just saying I'm in this field. If you want to come here, you've got to understand, you got to carry a different frequency.
Mhm.
It was not demanded of you.
No, and I
couldn't
chose.
up with the energy you threw at me. It's like, no.
Mhm.
And I was one to say, here's your damn pen, take it.
Yep.
But now that you have this, have you lost me, or have I been forceful? Have I? Oh, no, I don't feel I have. I feel like we have this relationship that I have with many people, and she's not the only one. And so if you start to feel jealous, go heal, go heal.
Mhm.
Because I do this with everybody. I give you this great love. And if you bounce it back, we're going to do the same rhythm. It's not about, oh, I'm going to see how much I can take, how much I can manipulate. It has nothing to do with that. I wasn't even going to allow that in my field with her.
Mm-mm. No, you didn't. And I'm so grateful for that, because it helped me to become me, unbeknownst to me.
Yeah, and you get more people to love you. Zale says, love you, Ayme.
Love you too, Zale.
See? So your dream was very much a very productive, but it was giving you this, I would say it was a report.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it was also this future thing that says, hey, you don't have to do it the old way. And now you can see it much more clear. You gave yourself your own epiphany.
I just give myself another one.
Oh, great start. Can you share?
So, okay, Mama Donna, I stopped over there, well, I suppose it's a week ago now, whenever it was, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever day it was, doesn't matter. The next day she called me at 7:38 in the morning, and she's been texting the wrong phone, so I haven't seen any of her messages. And I saw him the other day and I'm like, what the heck is this? Anyway. And then the next morning she texted me called me again at 7:38. And I didn't feel obligated to answer and to placate and please. And she had said, next time you're on a walk, stop over. And I walked straight past her house today and didn't have the urge to stop.
Oh, okay, hold on. See if people can see this. The old you, would you have yelled at yourself? I should have stopped.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Would you have gone, well, I can't really enjoy my walk because now I've got to do this, even though I got a deadline, and I'm not gonna make time for this. I make no time for me. So you would have gotten rid of the self-care. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. And you would have gone over there, even if you weren't in a mood to do it, you would have created a limitation or restriction and forced yourself because it was the right thing to do because you didn't want to disappoint her.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you decided to go for a walk, you already knew prior that she wanted you to stop by.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yep.
And you decided that you could self-care and love yourself so much that you weren't going to sit there and go, she's going to bitch at me. She's going to do this. She's going to do that. I better control myself. Did you go there?
No. Mm-mm.
Did you just, oh, Mama Donna's house, love you, talk to you later, and just set light and love and just continue doing your journey?
Exactly. And I did a 2-mile walk today.
Good job. Good job.
I think I was a tenth of a tenth. It was like 1.95 miles, whatever it was, like that.
Doesn't matter, you made it up when you eventually walked through your house.
Yeah, I
No.
made up that 10th of a mile.
It's all good, it's all good. But you're caring about yourself. You have put yourself on the value system. When I first met you, did you even know what values were?
No, I didn't.
And you look towards others to say, what are values? And I better have them. So what were you supposed to value?
When I first met you, you asked me what my values were. My family, my friends, my cats, my car, my house were the top 5.
And I don't even know if you made the top 100.
I don't think I did.
So let me help you understand, people. A value system to create reality in this energy field that we are in. You need a set of values. It's what's important to you. So if you feel like you have to people please and that's important to you, you will create that scenario. When people don't heal, it's because they have a value system. What's more important is to have the value system about bitching about it, maybe, because they're getting something out of it. So again, your values was, oh, it excites me that I have all this, but this is what the world, the collective says you're supposed to have, but family first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, or the church, or this, or that. But if you're not on the list, you can't take care of yourself. The body and you will never aim to achieve anything more than draining yourself.
You won't.
So that's why self-care on the planet is very important. But in this case, self-care isn't about condemning somebody else or leaving them out and then feeling shame or regret later. Self-care has everything to do with healing yourself, getting yourself back to peace. Yes, you still can include the candle bath. Yes, you can still go out and take yourself for supper. But self-care is about returning to the space of heart-brain coherence with yourself. So the moment you took your pen back, not maliciously, you didn't even want it. You didn't even know what pen. But as soon as you started to say, it's okay to care about myself, it's like the first time when Spirit said, oh, you're going to name your business Hope. No, I can't. And then I go to the registers and I put down Hope. They go, oh, that's a great name. You mean I can use it? I couldn't fathom or get past that I could. And that's what you did. And now all of a sudden you mean I can and I should and I will and I would. Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Because we usually beat ourselves up, force ourselves into restrictions, and put ourselves into this comfort zone or limitations. But you didn't do it that day because you've done so much healing. Put yourself on the value system to the point when you went out walking. Yeah, I know what her wishes are. But I don't have to fawn. I don't have to be stressed. I will get to it eventually. Now, if you're not even afraid if she's going to yell or scream. You're like, well, that's on you. I don't have to take that energy in. You used to care.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And now you're holding your pen in your hand. And has she attacked you yet because you didn't do what she wanted?
No.
No, because you changed that scalar field about how you share space. Before you would have got chastised, before she would have kicked you out and not talked to you, before she'd punish you. Now she's valuing you a lot more than she did.
Mm-hmm.
She's valuing you. What? And it ain't because you obeyed her and did everything for her.
No.
She found you valuable as a friend,
Mm-hmm.
someone to talk to.
Yeah.
It's a totally different respect. You didn't ask for it. You didn't demand it. You just said, I and respect you and I and respect me.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I didn't talk to her for a year and a half.
Because you were just and respecting yourself and she was going through a tiff at one point and you're like, okay, you do you. I'll do me. And then
Yeah.
Spirit said, time to communicate.
I could tell that she wanted to connect with me many times because I would walk by the street and I would look down the street but I wouldn't walk by because I think my littles were scared of the repercussion of not communicating with her.
Right, and it could have been that time was necessary because time is necessary for those that don't heal. Even though I heal, I still have to use time as a necessary because the body and everything in the collective expects certain stresses to take a certain amount of time to actually process. So you knew. It's like when the day that my husband, I before I met him, you know, before we got where we are today, I says, look, you can't talk to me until you heal your shit.
I got words.
I said, I'll know when you've healed it. And I did. And for a year and a half, he sat there and he healed. He didn't know exactly what to heal, but he healed everything under the sun. And when he did, it was bam. I knew it. My whole body knew it. And I called him up and it happened to be on his birthday. And it was just like, bam. And it's like, I said, you did it. I said, yeah, I did. I said, you really know it? He goes, yeah, I did it. And all of a sudden, magnetically, everything just shifted. And you'll know, because it's like, how do you know? You just will know because it's natural. You just will know. It's knowing from your authentic self, not your false self-assurance.
There's another lady that was one of my mom's friends, and she was she was my mentor for confirmation or whatever it was for church. And I don't think I've talked to her in 5 years. And I walk by her house every day. And I should go see her, but it's not time.
But you'll know. And you don't have to talk to yourself in any other way, like, oh my God, I'm gonna kick myself. I should see her. It's not even if they die, cancer clear delay, but even if they die, you don't have to live in regret. You don't have to do that humanism. You don't have to do that loss. You don't have to. But if you sit there and you're like, okay, it's not time. But what if, like, I knew I was supposed to talk to my sister, but I didn't get to talk to her. She came to me the night that she was dying and talked to me. So it's not always necessarily meaning this. Now, I'm not trying to allude in ego wise to say, oh, you can't talk until she dies. No, that's just an example. So, but I'm saying is that we don't have to have one answer saying, oh, it has to be like this. It could be a card that all of a sudden one day you write out and give an actual, not email, but a mail that comes through that when they go to the mailbox, oh, I got something from somebody I haven't talked to in years, and they sent me a necklace and it came in the mail. And just as I was thinking of you, and I just was like, wow, what an amazing thing to get something through the actual snail mail. It was what? And it's one of those just because. So you'll know.
Yeah. And it's, it's rewarding to be able to have that knowing. Like the day that I actually did go see Mama Donna, I was walking and I heard, you need to go see her. And I'm like, and my ego piped up, do you really want to? And I'm like, I have to. It was just this almost a compulsion, not in a bad way, but I just needed to.
Alignment, natural process.
Yep.
Huge difference. All right. You are a pleasure to talk to. Keep on healing, keep on growing. And I appreciate everything you do. And we will talk to you real soon. And I'm glad to see that you could participate and get something out of it, even though you are now more of a happy, healthy person. Because before what were you before? Not really all that happy all the time.
I was depressed. There was nobody home. The lights were on, but nobody was home.
Yeah, and so it's good to know that because the lights are home on and somebody is home, you still got something out of that today's healing, that group healing that we did, and that makes me happy.
Because those two people that I cord switched were continually in the back of my mind.
Ah, gotcha.
Even though I had healed a lot around it, there was still that last piece that needed to be pulled.
True. So I will be looking forward to any of you and all of you, including you, for a name for that. And it's not suck it up, baby, because that doesn't sound right. But it, it's something. It's a name. It's I know I'll get it. It'll come to me at some point. I'm just not sure exactly what. But because it's about flow, but yet it's more than that, and life
Yeah.
force is more than that.
Yeah. I'll think
Okay.
about it.
All right. Thank you so much, honey. We'll talk to you later. And love you.
Love you too.
All right. Don't know how to shut that off. Okay. Anyway, you guys have been good. Let me just double check to make sure nobody has sent anything. Let's see. Very good. Oh, I think we're okay with that. Yes. Yes. So thank you so much for joining me. Remember to like and share. And if you're on YouTube, go subscribe. And we are still collecting on the videos. When you hit love and you leave a comment. I'm going to grab your name. If you see one of my reels, the reels that come up on the shorts, then leave a comment. Hit that love and hit leave a comment. Your name can go into a drawing. So this is important that we keep going with this together, and collectively we can start setting the tone to creating more out of life, more joy, more peace, more harmony. Okay. All right. Before I actually go, is there anybody else that's looking? If I've never read you before, this is your chance to get a free reading. So I'll leave it open just for a couple more seconds or minutes to see. And we've created a wonderful family, whether you're in tribal or not in tribal. And I just love you guys dearly. I can feel that love. Zale's a big part of that. And he gave that hashtag, healing is fulfilling. I just love that. Okay. Hashtag, thank you, Spirit. Thank you very much, Robin. I appreciate that. Hashtag, resolve to evolve. Yes, you can. Resolve your shit. Resolve those life lessons and actually evolve. Hashtag, heal instead of deal. And hashtag, wake up. Wake up and make the change. Wake up and make the change, because a lot of you don't even know you can shift your reality. And you can do it in a matter of a few minutes. All right, love bugs, we will talk to you later. Remember, you're already blessed, you're already whole. So stay blessed.